for him. But other than that, we've got everybody here. Is everybody ready to go?
Sweet.
Yep.
I think so.
Cool.
We're ready to go.
Let's kick it off. Whoever's the recap. I think I heard we got a drum recap tonight.
We do.
Hell
All right.
yeah.
Drum cap?
Drum cap.
Cat drum.
All right. So this night started out with Xena screaming. Suddenly, gremlins popped out everywhere. They started spitting all around us. Walls of flames just shot up. It was very terrifying. The beetles definitely were spooked. And then Xena was by herself, probably surrounded by a whole bunch of these gremlins. Smalls immediately jumps into action, jumps over the fire while the rest of the team is rallying to smash these things. Unfortunately, I think Xena might have smashed the little guy, but that she was holding beforehand. So it's probably bad luck that these gremlins decided to show up out of nowhere. Smalls, even despite his bravery, got covered in these things. They started chewing on him, biting him. Clearly, he couldn't handle it though, because he ended up running back through the fire like a coward. We also had Cubert, who had a tiny flying dragon, who packed a punch with just some quick jabs. He seemed to knock out these things, and then Cubert finished him off with a giant frying pan. I don't know if he's going to cook with that later, but hopefully he cleans it. When the fires died down, we encountered Darkness, the kitty, near the wagons. He probably was going for the beetles. We have no idea where Maddie was for this whole thing. I don't understand how he missed this ruckus between the fire and the screaming. Just nowhere to be found. But we ended up defeating Darkness. Unfortunately, his partner Ghost was also strangely missing. But there were some shots fired, so I think Ingus took care of Ghost before they even got close to the camp. And after that, we started packing up and getting our camp ready to go, and that's where we're at right now.
Beautiful. Good old drum caps. Is there anything anybody else wanted to add? Anything we've got? Okay. We're actually going to roll the clock back a little bit to the moment just after the fight ended. You guys are taking everything in. The group is all here. You guys are kind of taking everything in from the battlefield. There are 2 dead large cats, one on the other side of the wagon where it's just out of view of most everybody, 1 dead here in plain view of the entire group, and several dozen of these dead gremlins just scattered throughout. And unfortunately, the little guy that was alongside with Xena is nowhere to be seen. And those of you that might have noticed it, he is now burned away to ash in the center campfire that has been relit by Argus, as most of you have set out to start cleaning up the camp and taking it all in. Right now, the one beetle that's with the wagon is kind of going ape shit right now. It's definitely riled up. It is terrified. It's attempting to break away from the tongue and harness that it's still connected to on the wagon. It's not properly outfitted on there, so it's not like it's good and square. So it's definitely making a ruckus over there as Ingus is over there trying to calm the beast, putting his hands up. Appears to be doing anything that he could possibly do to get everything in line here. But with that, I'm going to turn it over to the group. Does anybody want to do or say anything?
I'm gonna see. Is anyone good at skinning animals?
Out of character, I believe that would actually be Smalls, who isn't here yet.
Gotcha.
Also above the table, is there a particular reason why Mord wants to skin these animals? Why Mord specifically wants to?
Just I think I can use like their blood or something for something, some type of potion or anything.
Okay, because you rolled during the last session and you had no idea what these things were.
That's true.
So just putting that out there.
I imagine that like creatures that can make it harder to hit them can have special properties in their blood, is what Morb is thinking.
Okay. I'll allow it. All right. With that, Smalls is the one stepping up. He is already kind of examining the one beast that was finished off by Drew, Darkness, and he's taking it all in. And he immediately starts to, without even skipping a beat. I mean, this is what he did when you guys fought the wolves weeks ago. This is kind of his thing. Trophies are his whole thing. But anybody that is, it's been a while since we skinned animals, but if you all remember, it is a survival check, or a survival skill check. On a 1 through a 10, nothing really happens, and then from 15, 20, and up is depending on how the quality of the hide that you get. The person that is skinning needs to be able to have the skill in order to do it with survival, and anybody else that also has survival can assist them. So, Maddie, did you want to roll for Smalls in his absence, or did somebody else want to take point on this?
I can go ahead and roll from. Does anyone have proficiency that can give me the help action?
I have proficiency in survival. I can give the help action.
Fantastic.
Seems like episode wolf fight.
Drum is exceptionally curious at what these creatures are, but he feels kind of guilty because they seem like they were a pair. So he feels kind of terrible about it.
13. Let me pull up Mark's character sheet. I'm not sure what his survival is. While this is going on, Maddie's going to try and call Xena over to come help with the animals because they have a little bit of a connection from before.
Okay. To the Beatles?
Yeah, the beetle's going crazy right now. I know that you've spent a lot of time with them, so maybe you can help calm them down.
Yeah. Zena's gonna walk over and just do her best to calm them down.
Xena, go ahead and make me an animal handling check. You are assisting Ingus in this, but you are doing it on your own free will. So go ahead and roll me a straight animal handling.
Mark got a 16 for the skinning.
16 altogether? Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, before we do that, I'm going to say this. Was Mark goes to start, he just pulls out a basic knife out of his pack and he goes to start tearing at these animals. His knife is not doing the trick. There is something about these creatures that it seems like doing damage to them and taking them, and actually taking them down is one thing. But if you're looking to actually take the hides or process parts of them, get deeper into them, you're going to need something a little bit better than a mundane knife.
Does Smalls have the knife, the dagger that we found before? I forget the name of it. The Hellfire dagger, is that what we called it?
Possibly. I think either him or Drum does.
Smalls has it.
Smalls has it? Okay.
I
Yeah,
gave
I
it
would
to
say,
Smalls.
okay, perfect. I would say that Smalls immediately, the Smalls uses the Hellfire dagger, in fact, and on a 16, he's able to take apart darkness relatively, it takes a little bit of time, but he is able to save a decent pelt off of it on a 16. So it's not pristine by any means. And these creatures are extremely emaciated. They're thin. It seems like these things have not been well taken care of for a long, long time. So the pelt, in the condition that it is right now, can be considered a good pelt. So you can add to his one good displacer beast pelt, and if you want to go after the other one too.
I don't think Maddie says anything until after we get the beetle situation taken care of, and then he'll probably tell Smalls about it.
Okay, go ahead and
Yeah,
roll for that
and
one. Stina, go ahead. What'd you roll for that animal handling check?
a 7.
A 7. You're doing your best to try to calm this beast down, but it is very, very riled up, especially with the blood in the air of these creatures, of the displacer beast that you're now like tearing into. It is extremely fired up. It takes quite a bit of time for you and Ingus to finally get the thing to calm down. It does happen, but an amount of damage has been done to the wagon. The tongue has been broken off. A lot of the leather straps have been torn up. Everything that basically connects this beast to the wagon to allow it to move easily has been pretty badly damaged.
Crap. Hmm.
Well, since that's done, I think Maddie's gonna call Smalls over to show him the other pelt so he can get that taken care of.
Okay, same deal. You can roll twice. Let me know what you got.
Jerome, why don't you do it? Because I didn't feel good on that, and you're assisting anyway. So it's a +3 at advantage.
+3 at advantage? Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, +3 at advantage, 17.
17. Same kind of deal. You're able to. It takes a little bit of time, but as you're able to cut away these beasts, and as the hide comes through, it's not a pristine pelt by any means, but it's a decent pelt, and you're able to stash that away. You can add two good displacer beast hides to Smalls' inventory if you guys want. But with that, the camp is open. Ingus immediately kind of beds down the beetle. He has it calming down. He's not going anywhere far from its side. But he's kind of taking a look over the wagon too and assessing the damage. If anybody wants to try and assist him with that, you can. But other than that, I'm turning it over to the group.
Yeah, Xena's trying to help the damage to the wagon.
How is Xena assisting?
Just by trying to put things back together and get everything straightened out so we can get
Does Xena have any experience building wagons?
no, but
Since I helped Angus with the wagon, can I help him, Angus?
Technically, you helped Ingus, not Angus. So.
Oh, right, Angus. Sorry, I thought it was Angus. No, Angus asked me to do it. I was
Yes.
helping Angus do it.
You assisted Ingus, yes. Xena, Ingus actually kind of like shoves you out of the way, and just.
can I cast mending on anything?
Okay. If you want to try and use mending, absolutely. As he goes to shove you out of the way, you cast mending, and a couple of the straps start to get together. The damage that's been done is pretty intense on the soul sense, so it's not like mending is going to put everything back together, even if you worked at it through the night with that magic. But it does assist. And as he goes to shove you out of the way, he hesitates for just a second and allows you to continue helping. But yeah. So go ahead and roll me a. I guess it would be a Tinker's tool or just a. Roll me an intelligence check with your because you have woodworking tools, correct? Or what do you have?
I am a jeweler.
No, sorry.
So,
So talking to Morb.
Sorry,
you
Mark.
hadn't given me the woodworking tools yet.
Okay.
You said I needed to help Angus and Angus with the carts a little bit more, but I do have Tinker's tools.
Okay. Yeah. Just roll me the Tinker's tools check then.
All right. The Tinker's is dexterity. Does that matter? Should I roll intelligence with?
I would say the Tinker's tools is intelligence based because it's a skill. It's like you're using tools and like navigating your way through building something.
Okay. So that is a +5. Yeah.
Be a +3 for your Tinker's tools because you don't have expertise yet.
Is this a skill?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's +4. Never mind. Sorry, I was reading the wrong skill. Yeah. So it's +2 intelligence, +2 proficiency bonus.
Okay.
So +4.
Can I give him guidance since I'm next to him?
Absolutely. Oh yes.
All right.
Got a D4 to that.
Okay, this doesn't say investigation, but it's just a +4. This is another roll.
That's fine.
So that 14 plus the D4. Ooh, 18.
18 altogether, very nice. With careful use of guidance and the assistance of these tools and assisting Ingus as he kind of guides you with what needs to go where, you're able to mend the wagon back together enough to where the tongue is like decently in place. The damage here is still pretty substantial. It's going to take something just more based off of what you can see here. You don't really know too much about building wagons or anything, but what you've helped Ingus with in the past, you can tell here that there's something here that's going to take the deft hand of a blacksmith probably to put together. So it's going to function enough for to get you guys down the road a little bit, but it's not going to hold out forever.
Gotcha.
Floor is open. Anybody else want to do or say anything?
So we would need like a full forge, right?
Yes, that is the impression that you're getting from here.
Okay. Because I do have smith tools, but I don't have a forge on us, so.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? All right. With that, everybody kind of just you all clean up the camp. Private conversations here or there, whatever you all want to do, but you immediately, everything kind of returns to the norm before the gremlin attack, and you've got everything cleaned up. Everybody's a little bit on edge, but for the most part, everybody is able to take their long rests. So with that, I'm going to say everybody go ahead and take your long rests, and then the two people that are still on watch tonight, I need you to go ahead and make your perception rolls again,
So,
or your skill checks again for whoever's on watch.
since the way Warforged sleep is they don't sleep. They do what's called Sentry's Rest.
I'm not going to let you cook, and I'm not going to let you do a sentry job at the same time.
No, I was just verifying.
You're good.
Yeah, when we were looking previously, we were looking at Smalls and Monroe if they still want to, if Monroe is up for it.
Yep, and I'm just taking a photo for what the wagoneering jobs were again, just so everyone can see it again visually.
Perfect.
You got it. I can roll for Smalls is gonna do lookout as well. Is it perception?
Yeah, I think it's either, I forget what the skills are, but yeah, perception should be the main one.
Alright, so I'll do first watch Monroe, is that okay?
Yep, I'll do second.
Smalls got a 17.
Nice. Okay. With that, the rest of the rest of the night goes relatively unmolested. It's a quiet. You guys are a little bit on edge, but you do manage to find sleep. Those of you that take it, and you all get your long rests. Xena, you do experience that dream that we talked about at the end of last session.
Yes.
You do awaken a bit of a fright, and your mind is racing the questions like, who were these people? Where was I? Why does this feel familiar? Why can I not remember anything? Your mind is just racing at the wee hours of the morning as everything begins to stir right at dawn. Floor is
Okay,
open
but
if anybody wants to do anything. Xena,
well,
what you say?
is Xena? I'm still under the tree, right?
Yeah, you wake up. You sleep under there, but you do wake up
Yeah.
under the tree.
Okay, so I'm gonna get up and walk towards camp,
Okay.
just holding on to Kieran's dream catcher,
Perfect. Okay.
just staring behind my eyes.
All right. Any other conversations in the morning as they all kind of get back on the road and get packed up?
I am casually chasing Lucky around the camp, for what it's worth.
Roll me an animal handling check just for fun.
All right. 13.
13? It's a game. Yeah, he's definitely running from you in the sense that it's fun for him to run from you. It's not like he's trying to stay away.
Perfect.
Abby wanted to say something.
Absolutely.
Okay. Fix it. I wanted to go up to Xena.
Floor is yours.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to her and just be like, I wanted to thank you for your help yesterday.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm sorry that the whole thing happened in the first place, and
I can't fault you for it. I mean, there really wasn't very much information about whatever those things were.
yeah, but I'm not I'm not taking that kind of risk again.
I mean,
But I hope your wing is doing okay. How are you feeling?
my what? Sorry?
Your wing? How is your wing?
My, no, my wing's fine. It's fine. I don't, what do you mean?
You showed me your wing and that it was damaged, and I was just worried about you.
Hmm, I didn't
This is
realize.
just you and me together,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah. I,
Well, maybe you didn't show me intentionally, but I saw you grimace uh, when you tried to pull your wings out, and I did notice that, and it struck a familiar chord with me. So that's why I'm just curious.
yeah. I haven't
You-
told anyone.
I won't.
I think the only
It's
one who might have any kind of inkling that something is wrong is Drum, surprisingly.
hmm.
But when it comes to wings, he seems to pay very close attention.
Is there anything I can do to help you? Do you need anything?
No, no, it's from what I can gather, it's something that's just going to take its own time to heal. But it's it happened during the fight at Grunhild's when we were helping that city.
Oh, yeah, that was a mess.
With the bugs. I just haven't
Mhm.
I haven't tried to fly since then, so it didn't seem like an issue.
Yeah, yeah, and I realize it's going to take some time, but just know, I mean, I'm here to help you in any way I can. Just, I'm sorry about our past, and I have, um, I, since Karen died, I have, I don't know, my whole outlook has changed, and I'm starting to have memories that are memories or dreams. I don't even know what they are, but it's just kind of really bringing me back. I'm being more grounded, I guess. But I'm sorry that we haven't gotten along, and I will do whatever I can to help protect this group. And I know, you know, we're in this group together, so I'm here for you. Just so you know that.
I'm gonna take a really deep breath and then just go, I don't mean to be harsh. I was taught and trained to be as logical as possible and staying hidden and staying neutral.
Hmm.
And I do not mean this in any offensive way at all, but you are the complete opposite of that.
That's true. Which that is one of the things that I'm working on, and I'm praying about it a lot and just trying to listen to Danu as much as I can so that I can be better about that and not I'm changing in ways I
I,
didn't know.
I have noticed that you and Drew have both been a bit more thoughtful before
Yeah.
taking action, and I do appreciate it. It's also come to my attention that I don't have much of a personality, you know?
Hmm. Well,
um, you
you
are full
do.
of it. Though I don't know. I mean,
Oh, well, everything comes in time, and just being around this group is really changing me. So maybe it'll change all of us as we go along.
yeah, I think it's changing me too, and it's a little scary,
Yeah, it
but
is.
I mean, yesterday before the whole fight happened, I was asking Drum and Maddie for a different name.
Hmm.
I don't think Obby is the most original one.
Well, I think it's pretty.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if it's really me, if that makes sense.
Sure, sure, and might just pop out of nowhere. Someone might just say that name, and you'll whatever it is, you'll say that's me. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I but I do appreciate your assistance, and I am sorry for the conversation that we had, if you could even call it a conversation.
right. Yeah, well, I learned a lot and changed a lot, and I just hope that it's for the good and that we can put that behind us because it was a learning opportunity, and I did learn from it.
I will do my best to have more patience and understanding.
Right. Well,
And I
As you all start
appreciate
speaking,
you for not being weird about Maddie as well.
Maddie. Yeah. Yeah. I don't.
Just before you guys get into that, as like all of a sudden you guys hear Angus. Angus stands up on the top of his wagon, starts banging something on the side of the wagon, getting everyone's attention, and he starts like circling up his arms and like kind of makes a motioning like, "Let's get back on the road."
I'm gonna like smile at her and then walk away.
All right. I just give a little wink and see you later. Thanks for the conversation.
With that, everybody kind of gathers up their things. Is there anything else that needs to take place before you all hit the road again? Okay. You are sitting on the edge of what is publicly is what is publicly known as the Endless Acre Wood. It is a massive expanse of forestation here in the Dukedom of Sylvaden. Nobody really knows how vast it is. Nobody's ever been able to map it. Who all here is from Sylvaden, or is like who has skill in like history? So Xena, I know you are.
Yeah.
Drum, I know you've spent quite a bit of time here.
Yep.
Anybody else?
I just have history proficiency.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me a history then.
17.
17, nice. So all three of you would know that the Endless Acre Wood, it hasn't been mapped because basically it cannot be mapped. The wood is constantly shifting and moving and changing in place. A logging camp might set up one morning, cut down a dozen trees or 100 trees even, and then by the following morning, it is completely swallowed up that camp all over again. So the magic, the old magic and the strange happenings in this place are very untraceable and constantly shifting. So that's why it's people say don't ever leave the road in Sylvaden because the magic is confined. The way that this place has been built up, the townships, the small villages, the way that the highway is laid out, it's very specific. Like those are safe spots, and if you go venturing off of the beaten path, well, you're basically doing that at your own risk because there's nothing for you to follow. Hours and a few more hours down the road, you guys weren't too far off from what is known as the township of Roost, Roost. The roads soon give way to this like marshland outside of Roost, township of Sylvaden, where you can see and hear loggers working tirelessly to keep the forest at bay all day, every day. Log wooden highways, causeways, and crossings rattle with wagon wheels as everything here has been built up with these massive logs and has been slightly elevated above the ground itself. There's, as you're kind of passing a few others on the road, there's these echoes of shoed horses and these beasts of burden just clopping along this wooden pathway, this wooden highway. The air itself is humming with the constant sound of saws. There is this thick smell of sawdust. As you guys approach and get closer and closer a little bit to civilization, you notice that the bulk of the townsfolk here appear to be very broad-shouldered and bearded and wearing something that's kind of akin to flannel. Literally everyone seems to be carrying an axe, otherwise, logging or otherwise. As you encroach the township as well, the entire township is encircled by this 20 to 30-foot wooden palisade wall, cut straight from the biggest logs that you could possibly see of these forests, some of these trees that stretch 50, 60, 100 feet up in the air even. But there's little in the way of industry like what you saw here, like what you saw on Opus Day. There's no giant cable cars or no plumes of giant smoke. I mean, there's smoke burning here, but it's the smell of like charcoal burning and wood curing and things like that. It doesn't have the that overwhelming stench of industry that you guys definitely had back up north. Rather, everything here is more rural and homemade, as if everything was pulled from what the forest and the river can provide. Actually, I want everybody who is proficient in perception. I'd like you to make me some perception checks real quick.
I'm not pro. So if I have a good perception check, can I roll or?
No, if you're proficient in perception, anybody
Okay.
that is proficient in perception can make me a check.
Small's got a 7.
7.
I got a dirty 20.
Ooh,
19.
nice.
More got a 13.
13. Okay.
Abby got a 19.
19 for Abby. Okay. Abby, Drew. Anybody else?
Are me and Xena the only people who aren't proficient in
It's
No,
I think so.
you're good.
it's pretty common.
Neither am I. So
Okay.
Matt,
my
I got my
familiar
fingers all
is, but
really
I am
well.
not.
No.
Okay, I was just like everyone was saying
No.
numbers.
Yeah, I rolled for smalls. Don't worry.
All right. Mornrow, sorry, did you roll or did you not have it?
And yeah, I'm with Drum and Xena in the back, just going, "What's up, guy?"
I'm just cleaning
Okay.
off my pan.
All right. As you all approach this, Drew, you actually take notice of the land around you, and as you kind of like look off the edge of the wooden highway, you can literally see like these creeping vines of vegetation, and it almost seems like off in the corner of your eye, the trees themselves are kind of like shifting ever so slightly, like centimeter, maybe an inch at a time. Everything kind of seems to be pulling towards the civilization. Avi, on your perception check, you notice that you're taking more into the sights around you of the local military that you're starting to see. It's these light armored knights, traditional knights that I guess you could say. They're done up in studded leather with these plated greaves and gauntlets under a breastplate that on what you rolled, you could tell that it's not metal. It's actually varnished wood. Every soldier's helm is adorned with these giant, large antlers resembling a stag elk. Every single one of them that you're noticing as well has like a sword and shield type to them. Each of them carries like a long sword or a extended haft warhammer, and these giant shields made out of the same wooden material as their breastplate. And you take note that all of their tunics and all of their gear is that same green color adorned in the eagle of Silva. I'll go ahead and post some stuff here in the chat. Yep.
Nice.
Uh, doop. And both of you together, as you kind of like give each other like a note, like your eyes cross for ever so slightly as you're both taking all of this in. And both of you notice off in the distance, kind of like hidden away in the same trees, but not affected by the creeping of the trees, are these large wooden watchtowers. And they're all kind of like stashed away off of the road. They're not very visible unless you know what to look for or are looking very, very hard. And each of these watchtowers has several of these knights positioned inside of them. Couple up on top, couple up on bottom. And both of you begin to kind of wonder, like, wait, we've been in the woods for quite a while now. How many of these watchtowers have we actually already passed? And with that, all of you begin to enter the township of Roost. Like I said, the wooden palisades of these walls, the doors are the gates of this place are wide open. It's like they're not there. There are military here checking people as they kind of come in and go, but they're not stopping people. They're not asking questions. No, it's a pretty free roving highway. And as you guys get inside, you notice that the highway cuts a swath right through the center of the township, and there's nothing on either side of it. It kind of gives it a wide berth. But everything here, as I said, is very rustic and rural, made from the things that they can pull from the river and pull from the forest. Log cabin esque, nothing of like blackened iron or steel. No, there's things here, but it's very much so like walking into a logger's camp or something like that up in the mountains. Go ahead and post visuals for Roost. Y'all just bear with me. There we go. But as I said, nobody really stops you. Nobody really questions. Everybody's just kind of going about their business. You do notice that this place is very lively. In fact, it's like there's people working and going to and fro. There's large carts full of logs. People carrying various goods from to and fro. Some people are crossing the highway across these little wooden bridges that goes over the top. But there's a great congregation of people in several areas. There's a lot of banners hanging across across between houses. There's the smell in the air of like it's almost like a brewed ale. It's very, very, very pungent, but it has like a very spicy cinnamon type bite to the nose. There's the smell of like baked goods and bread in the air, and like I said, everything's very festive. And all of you most of you with like a good passive perception, you all take notice here. There's actually quite a few children running around, and most of you take notice of a bunch of like about 2 dozen of these like little blue children with like dark brown or reddish brown hair, and they have like these little elongated chins, big doe eyes, big floppy ears, and they're just running around. And they all kind of like they're all having the same blue pigmentation to their skin, along with other children. There's various Haragon folk running about, rabbit folk. There's half elves. You see it. You'd actually notice a couple of minotaurs. There's a couple people walking around that have other like beast-like features to their to their faces and their bodies. Not monsters by any means, but just ever so slightly different. That you can definitely tell that there's slightly there's something different about them. They're not traditional humans. They're not traditional elves. Nothing like that. But it's a little bit of a different vibe and a little bit of a different cultural thing as you all walk into here, definitely than what you saw up in Opus Day. And Monroe, you actually take notice that there are several satyrs actually running around in here as well. But with that,
Are they?
Hmm?
Are they naked?
No, they are not naked. As I said, everybody's wearing around this like flannel and like heavy clothes and things like that. It's very much so a mining community or a logging community. But you all make your way, and you kind of find a way off to the side here, and it's a little bit of like a parking space or a camping space for wagons. There's a few other people here posted up and are taking inventory of their things. But Ingus pulls the wagon over and immediately jumps down and kind of starts unhitching the beetle himself. But he actually kind of takes stock of everything around, lets out a big deep breath, and he actually looks around to the rest of the group, and he lifts his fingers and he's looking directly at Abby. He looks like he's about to snap his fingers, but Abby, you notice that he hesitates for a slight second, and he just kind of waves at you and like motions for you to come over.
I'm gonna try not to smile too big and nod at him.
Yeah.
And then I'll step closer.
Okay. He kind of like, do you immediately try to talk to him, or what do you do?
I'll wait until he starts it because I know that he's uncomfortable with it.
Okay. He actually stands there for a good like 5 or 6 like awkward seconds looking at you. He has this like slightly like narrowed look in his eyes as he stares at you. And you don't say anything, you're just looking at him like you're waiting for permission. He just kind of gives you a ever so slight like crooked smile off the corner of his mouth that immediately like goes back into that normal stoic like grumpy look. And he kind of gives you a motion, like taps on the side of his head as if he's giving you permission.
Okay. And then I'll go ahead and start talking to him. Yes.
I need you to take 2. Yeah, take 2 and go find a blacksmith. Tell him that we need the wagon tongue, hitch, harnesses. Basically, I need the whole damn connection for the wagon fixed, and I need it done quick.
Okay. I'll like reach into my pack and grab like a piece of paper to write down this stuff so I don't forget anything.
Okay. He said wagon tongue, hitch, and harness. Basically, he needs the whole connection to the to the wagon redone, and he needs it done quick.
Okay. Is there anything else that you want us to get while we're out?
No.
Okay. Anyone in particular that you would like to stay here?
Anybody in particular that I want you to find?
No, to stay here with you.
Oh, I don't care. Just take 2 and go.
Okay. I'll go to the rest of the group and then I'll be like, can I have 2 people come with me to get things for the wagon, please?
I'll go.
Drum's
I'll go.
Oh, okay. Drum's gonna nudge
So
Maddie.
I
and be
heard
like,
Drum and more, but who else wanted to go?
Drew.
Drew? Okay.
Drum's just gonna nudge Maddie really hard and say, "You're missing your chance."
I think we need to go to the bounty board and see if we can complete some more jobs. We still have the rule of 3 to do.
Doesn't this one technically count as our third?
think you have to
Not,
do 3.
not in Sylvan. Or the other borough.
Hmm.
I nudged Drum, so it's okay. We'll catch up to him.
Okay, I'm going to say that Drum Drew, and Morb, you guys all go with Avi. The rest of you can split off and do whatever you see fit. Smalls is actually going to stay with the wagon and with Ingus.
Mhm.
Okay, so the four of you take off.
E.
Yes.
Okay. Um,
So, just quick question: is the beetle still hitched?
yeah, Ingus
Okay.
is unhitching. Ingus is unhitching it. He's getting it comfortable and positioning it off to it's no longer hooked up like solidly to move the wagon. It has been
Okay.
removed and it's now comfortably laying down.
Okay.
But several times during you guys' trip over, like you guys went up a couple hills and stuff like that. You could hear the wood and certain things like starting to crack and rupture, and the strain of the leather and the harnesses. Yeah, whatever was holding that beetle to that wagon wasn't gonna last too much longer. But thankfully, the repairs that you did, you got here without any issues. So fantastic.
Cool.
But Abby, Drew, Drum, and more. What do you guys do? How do you guys go about finding a blacksmith? Or are you just gonna ask around the locals?
I feel like asking a local is the quickest way.
Yeah.
You get nowhere with several of the first people that you talk to. Actually, go ahead and roll me. Whoever's doing the talking, roll me a straight charisma check.
I'll do it.
Charisma?
Charisma, sure.
I got this. No, I don't, but
You got it.
14.
Are you sure?
14. Okay, on a
14.
14. The first like 3 or 4 people that you ask, you get absolutely nowhere with them. They are actually drunk off of their ass, most of them. And like this, it's kind of like midday. I'd say like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But each of them is just drunk off their ass. There are like flakes of food and breadcrumbs in their beard. It's like these guys, like their bellies are distended. Like these guys are like most of everybody you talk to is like well fed, well drunk. They just reek of beer and food. Like they've been having the best time ever. But by about the 4th or 5th person you talk to, they do direct you to. They're also in very good jovial spirits, but they direct you to a place on the other side of town, which isn't far. This isn't Triniborg or anything. It's like a brisk 20-minute walk will get you there. To a place called Feather and Fowl. It's a blacksmith. They tell you can find a blacksmith there.
Okay.
Okay. With that, we're going to shift over to the rest of the group. What's everybody else doing right now?
What's around us?
Everything. The township. There's off in the distance, like I said, you're kind of in a camping area that's off of the main highway. There are several wooden bridges that go over the archway, so that way you're not walking all literally across the public highway. Um, there's various shops. There's a lot of houses. You see a lot of like multiple deck, like log cabin styles. One of the things you do notice is an open air. There's like a beer garden. It's a giant like erected tent that stretches for like easily like 50, 60 yards. And just from the distance, you can see that there are these massive oak and wooden tables that just stretch the entire length, long wooden benches. There's a ton of people congregated there. You can hear some faint music off in the distance. And you get the idea of like, this is probably where everybody's like getting their good spirits from.
Right. This is jovial. Can I go into one of the shops? Because I'm trying to find a hand crossbow.
Yeah, if you wanted, same kind of deal. Roll me a straight charisma check. Try and find something.
Charisma. Oh, let me get back there. Oh, I hit the wrong thing. Ah. Ah. It's not. The thing's not working. Why? My charisma. I just tapped my charisma, right? That's.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not rolling.
Go ahead and just roll me persuasion then. This maybe some might be something up with your app.
Do 11.
11. Same deal. It takes you a little while, but you're actually also directed to the Feather and Fowl on the far side of town.
Oh, so I should have gone with everybody.
You're making your way there solo, though, right? Nobody else is with you.
Nobody. Oh, I can ask around. Does anyone want to go with me?
I actually want to go to where we can find the guilds and the bounties. Because Marshall, correct me if I'm wrong. The rule of 3 is each town, right? So we have to do 2 more after this.
Each dukedom, you need to complete 3 jobs. So you can either complete jobs in the township, the fortress, or the capital. So basically,
And,
anywhere within the dukedom, as long as you complete 3 jobs, you have completed your rule of 3.
and this would be the first one for this, right?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah. So I want to see if I can go find either the bounty or the place where we can get the jobs at. Then,
Okay, roll me a persuasion then.
if they tell me to go to the same place, I'm gonna be very upset.
No. That's an unfair assumption.
You did
7.
say you catch up with us.
7.
Yep.
Yeah, they direct you to the feather. No, I'm kidding. They send you to the. They send you the. They actually send you to the beer garden that you can see across the way.
All right. I tell Xena that's where I'm gonna head then.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go shop and then I'll meet you back there.
You got it.
Okay.
I want to find the satyrs.
Okay. I mean, there's just random people walking about. I mean, there's a couple. There's a couple headed to the beer garden. There's a couple that are walking down the street, just kind of walking down the streets, minding their own business. Who do you want to talk to?
Do I also perceive that the giant tent congregation where I think that also is where satyrs might be?
Oh yeah, your perfect sense like immediately went off as soon as you were in town. Like you know where the beer garden was. Like you picked that right up.
I'm gonna go up to Maddie, be like, "Hey, Maddie, I'm gonna tag along with you. I hear you're going to that beer garden tent. I'm just gonna go with you. I saw some satyr kids, and I thought that was pretty interesting. So let's. I'm. Please don't think I'm looking for kids. I'm looking for satyrs. Why do I
Maddie raises an eyebrow pretty
know?
heavily.
Feel that I
No,
back my
dear. Phrasing. That is very
the first.
key.
Argus, you want to come too?
No. I shall stay here with our fellow Smalls and keep an eye on Angus. I have no money to spend, and I shall not fall on whimsy there. I shall stay here and do our job.
All right.
Oh,
So we got Smalls and Argus are staying with the wagon. Monroe and Maddie are headed to the beer garden. Xena, you're making your way to the Feather and Fowl by yourself. And then we have Abby, Drew, Drum, and Moore making their way to the Feather and Fowl as well. The Feather and Fowl. All right. We're going to shift back over to Abby, Drew, Drum, and Moore. You guys get over to, you take, like I said, a brisk walk as you're kind of making your way through. It's actually very pleasant here. People are smiling and kind of give you like gentle nods. A couple of people wave at you. A bunch of kids like run up randomly and like stare at a couple of you, like this like drool and snot running down their nose. Like they're like maybe 4 or 5 years old, and then they immediately like run back off and they're taking off down the street. You know,
I imagine the people that are getting the most stares are me and Abby
possibly
from the kids.
Yeah, definitely you, Abby. Are you trying to hide your presence at all, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I still am.
Okay, roll me a stealth check then.
Okay.
You're with. I'd say it's an advantage because you're with a group.
Thank you. Boop-a-doo-boop-boop-a-doo. Dove. Okay, the first roll's a 17. And the other one's a nat 1.
Oof. Good thing you got the
Oh,
advantage.
no.
On a
I
17,
know.
on a 17, you're good. You're not really getting too many looks other than just like people. Like I said, this is the first experience you've had. They're not really looking at you, but your group. People are friendly. They're waving. They're nodding. Like just kind of going on about their business. You're not really feeling that same like dangerous outcast vibe that you were getting here, in other parts, especially up in Opus Day.
Okay.
But you make your way over to the Feather and Fowl. It's kind of another like open concept area. It's like a large barn that's missing the walls, and there's a large forge going off in the back. You can damn near feel the heat off of it even as you approach it. But also as you guys kind of enter inside, there's like kegs upon kegs upon kegs. There's a long bar that stretches across the inside here. There are tubes going and burners and like there's a strange like pungent aroma about this place. Like, yes, it's a blacksmith. You can smell like burning wood and hot iron and ash and coal, but you can also smell like astringent and chemical and just like various spices, and it's strange. But as you all enter inside, yeah. What do you want to do? There's the bar. There's the kind of a blacksmith that's on the other side of the bar. You enter inside. Is you guys who goes up to the bar?
I'll go up to the bar since I have the list.
Okay. As you approach the bar, there's really nobody standing there, but as you get a little bit closer and you kind of like put your hands up on top of the bar, all of a sudden you see this like ploof of like black feathers as all of a sudden like this tall bird-like individual. They almost look like a large grackle, like a large crow with this long, narrow, curved beak, sporting these like black feathers and these brightly amber-colored eyes. As he kind of picks up and stands up and goes, hello, welcome to the Feather and Fowl. How can we help you?
I'm here for some wagon tools.
Wagon tools? Oh, you want my brother, Feather? And then you guys, all of a sudden, as he says that, on the back end there, you see another large avian person. This person's more eagle-like. They have this vibrant blue plumage and a snowy white crown on the top of their head. And this massive bird, eagle-like person, is just pounding away at this anvil as you guys kind of peek around the corner.
Okay.
Drum is gonna make a very audible sigh.
I'm gonna turn and look at him and be like, "Are you okay?"
Could be mildly glowing. I'm just not gonna respond. I'm very white-knuckled, gripping the side of my kilt.
I'm just gonna nod and then turn back to them.
Are you all here for the blacksmith? There's anything I can help you with.
I'm gonna turn to the others and be like, I think for now it's just this.
And he immediately like dives back under the bar.
This is what we're looking for, and I'm gonna hand him the list.
You go walk over to Feather and hand him the list.
Yeah.
He takes a look at it, and he has this long, like talon-like fingers, and he kind of like just ever so slightly pinches the piece of paper and brings it up to his eyes. You get the impression, like off of your passive perception, he probably doesn't have the best of eyesight. He kind of like brings it up to him.
Like holds it like really, really close to his face, like he's trying to read it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, I'm gonna be like, yeah, it's just the wagon tongue, the hitch, and the harness. That's all we need.
Well, I can do that. You have money?
Yes.
Not gonna be able to fix it till tomorrow, though.
Okay. Do you want payment now or when it's done or like partial?
Do you pay people for work they haven't done yet ahead of time?
I know some people prefer like a partial so that way they can get the supplies if they need it.
I mean, you can give me money now if you want to, but I won't do the work until tomorrow.
You can give him money now if you want to. He won't get it done till tomorrow, though.
Okay.
Sorry, she couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I know. I like leaned in and everything. I was like, what?
He's very slow and very very soft spoken.
Okay.
With the festival going on, I'm busy keeping that going. So come back tomorrow, and I'll help you.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to the others and be like, there is a festival happening today.
Yeah, you didn't notice?
It makes a lot more sense with some things now. Okay. Do you know where would be best to find a place to rest?
there's an inn next to the garden, or just sleep where you fall.
I like this guy.
With that, we're going to shift over to Xena real quick. Xena, you're making your way over to Feather and Foul as well, and you're kind of like you know where you know the general direction you're going, but of course your curious nature gets the better of you, and you kind of like go off the path a little bit. You start ducking into a few different streets and a few different alleyways, looking around, taking in all of the architecture. There's something a little ever so slightly faintly familiar about some of this, maybe a little bit, especially some of the designs and the work and just the smell in the air. It's been a long time, but yeah, you definitely feel like maybe you've been here before. But again, it's just that little. It's almost like a word on the tip of your tongue. You just it's there, but you just can't quite get it. All of a sudden, you are surrounded by 7 or 8 of these little blue children that I was describing earlier. They have this thick mat of like brownish to reddish hair, big floppy ears, big doe eyes, these like slightly elongated pointy chins. Uh, they're also kind of like their body hair is itself. These are children, but they're pretty damn fluffy. But you are surrounded by 7 or 8 of them, and a couple of them are just kind of like being as children do. They're like kind of like punching their hands in the palm of their other ones, and like, well, what do we have here?
Hello, children. What do you think of my companion, Athena?
It's like they definitely see Athena, but at the same time, they're not like phased in the slightest. It's
Hmm,
like they're used to that. You get the impression like maybe these children like have seen plenty of wild animals before.
sure.
The 2 of the bigger ones are definitely kind of approaching you and like trying to give off these like tough guy vibes.
So, what do you guys want? Why are you following me?
Well, wait, what are we supposed to ask for? They start whispering to each other like, "Money, dumbass." I think is that what we're supposed to? I don't know. I've never. This was your idea. Like, yeah, we want your money. That's what we want. Yeah.
Hmm, why?
Why do we want it? I don't know. Just tell me what the. Just no questions. We just want your money.
Okay. You're not going to get my money, but and I look over at Athena and she can hear me and she starts circling me. And I am like,
Actually,
"No."
actually, in this instance, I'm going to say that she's not circling you. She's just like sitting on her haunches, almost
What?
looking bored.
Hmm. She must not think that they're a big threat. But I would like to go stand closer to her and say, "No, sorry, children. No money today. But can you direct me to a shop where I can well, I need to pick up some supplies and you guys seem to know your way around the town. Maybe you can assist me." And
Do you tell me that you're looking for the feather and foul?
feather and fowl. Yes, I forgot what it was called.
The littlest one goes, I know what that is. I'll show you, and he immediately like starts running off.
Okay, I'm gonna follow him and I'm gonna tell him I will, if you children help me out, I will give you each a gold piece. But that means no harm, no foul.
Unintentional.
They all kind of like look at each other. Like I said, there's about 6 or 7 of them. The 2 oldest ones are like, yeah, I think that's yeah. Okay, yeah, that sounds good. And they all escort you to Feather and Foul. You are a couple of the littlest ones come up and take you by the hand. A couple of them run up and like kind of start running their fingers over Athena. Like there's no fear in these kids in the slightest. But
Cool.
they all lead you to Feather and Foul.
Neat.
You catch up about the time that Morb, Drew, Drum, and Abby are finishing up with the blacksmith.
Okay. Well, here you go, children. I promised you each a piece of gold, so one for each of you. And remember, mind your manners and listen to your parents.
As soon as you
Thank
mention
you.
As soon as you mention parents, they immediately like their eyes get like huge, and they take their gold piece, and like all of them immediately like run off, like full dead sprint.
Cool.
Alright.
So I am there, and do I see my companions?
Yes, you meet up with the four of them. You're introduced to Feather and Fowl. You kind of get the lay of the same layout that I gave everybody earlier. But you said you were looking for a hand crossbow or a short bow.
Wasn't it the hand? What was the one? I can't remember what we talked about that I wanted. Help me, out of character.
I think you said you wanted a short bow because you wanted to be able to. Because you wanted to be like an archer, right? You wanted to try some archery.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So it is a short bow. Yeah, it just didn't sound right.
Okay. Yeah, there's a couple things here. Like I said, this is a very like rural hunting community. There's various bows and things on the wall, like several crossbows, several longbows, short bows. It's like there's depending on how fancy you're looking to get, but it doesn't really seem like this is something that like this isn't the place you're going to find like heavily enchanted equipment. Just more like mundane hunting gear.
So is it Feather or Fowl that I'm talking to?
Fowl actually pops up. So Feather's still back there hammering away, but Feather or Fowl pops up, and you've been asking the questions. You wanted to purchase but you wanted to purchase a short bow.
Yes. One that's my size.
Yeah,
Because
he goes.
I'm not.
No problem. He goes through various equipment, and he starts handing a few of them down. You try a couple. You try the tautness of everything. You go through about 5 or 6 of them, and eventually you find one that's very fitting. It's about your size. It's not too heavy. It's not too overburdening. It has a very like almost like a viney motif swirling throughout the wood, and has a very taut green string to it.
Nice.
He says he'll sell it to you for 40 gold pieces.
Okay. Does it also come with arrows like a quiver?
Oh yeah.
Or-
Yeah.
Perfect.
Every weapon, every bow that they say, he goes through the process of telling you that it comes with a free quiver of arrows.
Perfect. I would love that one. It's perfect size for me. Thank you.
Go ahead and add a short bow to your inventory, and you're good to go. We'll subtract 40 gold from your persons.
All
You
right.
can give them your money.
What? Did you say give them? Did somebody say something?
Did somebody say something?
No.
I'm messing with my mute. Sorry, guys. Drum said you shouldn't give him your money, but very under his breath, very quickly and very quietly.
Oh,
I'm side eyeing him.
Bombastic side eye.
I would say more, just real quick off the top, off of your basic percent. You recognize a lot of this in here. This is a somewhat of it's a blacksmith in the back and basically an alchemical lab slash like shop in the front.
Ooh.
So, anything else about the not giving him money? Anything going on?
Do they have any like alchemical ingredients?
Yeah, there's various stuff around.
Yeah, can I try to like a general like the basic brewing
Components?
yeah.
Brewery supplies?
Yeah, no, not like the brewery supplies, like the basically alchemical ingredients to make the basic potions.
Yeah, you'd have to buy alchemical gear or alchemy ingredients.
Okay.
There's
Can
enough.
I?
You want to purchase some?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he takes various things off. It's basically a collection of things. It's like vials and stoppers and a couple other things. Like there's enough here you could probably get, half a dozen potions mixed out of it all together. So
Cool. How much will that cost me?
50 gold.
Gold. All right. Sweet. I'll hand over 50 gold.
Cool. Go ahead and add alchemical supplies. And you can just say like times 6 are notated in there. That's how many. Enough that there's enough there to make like 6 potions worth of whatever you're gonna need. You're gonna need the base ingredients though.
Yeah. I want to start making potions for the group in case something bad happens.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get more into that mechanic later. You're gonna need like this is like the base things of like if you were gonna this is the salt and pepper of ingredients, basically. If you're gonna
Yeah.
make something more complex, you're gonna need the more complex ingredients yourself.
Yeah, I imagine this is like to make your like basic healing potions.
You're still gonna need something else on top to make a healing potion, but we'll get more into that later.
Okay.
But this gives you what you need to get started.
Can I ask? I'm talking to Feather, right?
I think Allie wanted to say something.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I want to look down at Drum to like ask him something. And then, Drum, do I notice that you're tense and having a bad time?
Everyone notices I am having a bad
Okay,
time.
great. I'm gonna lean down just a little bit so I can whisper at you. Drum, but do you want to step out? We can wait outside. We don't have to wait in here.
If they work
Let's-
here, they can't fly. If they can't fly, they don't die. Let's step outside.
Yeah, let's go outside.
I'm gonna like give Drew a little smile and a nod as they start to head out. And like, thank God.
All right. Anything else anybody wants to finalize in here?
I wanted to ask Feather if he purchases things, could I? Because I have a whole bunch of amber stone I need to get rid of.
Okay. You want to try and sell the amber stone that you have?
Yeah.
Okay. You're talking to Fowl. He's more of the alchemist. Feather's the blacksmith. But as
Oh.
you kind of put him up on top of the counter there, and he kind of goes and looking at them. He has like this small viewing apparatus and some magnifying glasses. He's kind of taking things. He shaves a little bit off, or he attempts to. It takes him a while, but he finally manages to break a little bitty piece of it off, and he puts it into a stopper. It begins to sizzle and change colors. And before long, he's like his eyes get a little big. He doesn't really say anything though, but then he's like, "Hmm." And he just slides the money back for your bow.
Oh.
And he grabs the amber pieces and pulls them to himself. And he's looking at you he's giving you this look of yes, we have an agreement.
Yes. Okay, so the only amber stone I'm keeping I didn't put on the table is the one I cut off with the health dagger.
Okay. Yeah, you keep that one. You keeping that shard?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, all the other pieces, all the 20 pounds of it or so, as you put up on top of this table, he definitely pulls it towards himself and slides you back your 40 gold.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
now it's did I make a good I don't know now. Yeah, I know, right? Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's good. All right. Anything anybody else wants to do here? All right.
No.
You all kind of pack your things up and met outside. Drew, Drum, y'all are there. You meet up, and as a group, all 5 of you head your way back to the campsite or to the beer garden, your guys' choice. But with that, we're actually going to shift over to Monroe and Maddie at the beer garden. What are you guys doing?
Maddie's is there an actual job board? Obviously this is not the place I thought it would be. Is this all just a whole bunch of drinking going on?
It's definitely a lively place. Like I said, there's a ton of drinking going on, feasting. There's music going on. People are laughing and singing. You do notice that there's a similar job board like you've seen at other places, like the one you saw at Gunhilda's place in the den. There is one on the far back. It's actually about 3 times the size. It's 30 feet up in the air, 30 feet wide. It's just huge. And there's a ladder on either side that allows you people to climb up and pin stuff to it.
I look at Monroe and say that I'm gonna go look at the board and see if I can find a job for us while we're here, so we can knock out another one. And then I'm gonna head, assuming Monroe's gonna look for us some satires.
Some satires. Beautiful.
I'm satire seeders, yes.
Yes. So, Maddie, with yours, as you make your way over there, go ahead and roll me an investigation check or perception. Either one's going to tell you something different depending on what you roll.
Perception rolled off of a 20 to a 5.
5. As you begin going through these job postings, you see that most of them have been torn in half, or there's vomit on them, or there's other various degrees of spatter and mess on there. and there's a ton of them that are just like plastered over, or there's like a stamp that somebody's gone through and it just says like festival, 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 festival. On a 5, you're not really finding much of anything that's like that's of interest to you and your group.
Well, I feel like I did my due diligence and I cannot find anything for the group. So I guess that means I should go to the bar.
You head to the bar. Monroe, what are you up to?
I think I was just tagging along, seeing what Maddie was seeing, and I'm like, bar. I think that's a good place to start.
I head over with Monroe then.
All right. You guys pull up a couple of drinks. Actually, the first one that gets slid to you is actually on the house. Several of the barmaids are running around. It's very Oktoberfest in here. It's like very festive colors. Everybody's done up and running around in like various, like I guess you could say, outfits and whatnot. Yeah, but it's very Oktoberfest up in here. So the first drink you all get is on the house here. As the rest of you, the 5 of you, make your way back over to the beer garden, you cross paths with Ingus, Smalls, and Argus. Ingus has found has bedded the wagon down for a while. There's plenty, like, you get the, I'm gonna kind of like above the table here. You get the impression that Ingus is not feeling like at all threatened in this place. There's a ton of guards everywhere. It's not like everybody here hates to be here, and there's like a lot of like crime in the air or anything. No, this is a very festive place. He feels okay leaving his stuff unattended to, and he's gonna go get a drink. You all meet up, and the rest of you all join up with Monroe and Maddie at the bar. Again, very Oktoberfest, long wooden tables. There's a ton of drinks going on, and Smalls is here with us now. So Abby, do you relay the information to?
Yeah, I'm gonna like look at Ingus and just kind of like tap my head like to ask for permission.
Okay, he offers it to you. Yes, he gives you like a little like gentle like nod. Yes.
So because of the festivities, he won't be able to work on it until tomorrow.
Yeah, I kind of got that impression from the locals myself.
Yeah. He also didn't tell me how much it would be. Oh, I tried to get that information, but I don't know if I said the words properly, so that might be why. But yeah, just so you know.
You did fine, Abby. Thank you. I'll deal with it in the morning.
I update the group as well. I pointed at the board and said, "There's nothing for us to do in the town. Everyone's doing the festival. We can't do any work."
I mean, who would want to work during a festival?
Maddie smiles. Goes, another round.
So as you all start ordering drinks and is everybody like ordering drinks and food and everything?
Am I able to roll a perception on seeing like what they're celebrating?
Sure.
Possibly.
Sure. Roll me a perception.
On a 9?
It's a festival.
Woo! Yes, with the beer on the house. Oktoberfest it up.
On a 9, though, you do notice that there's a stage off and there's several musicians playing. It's a jaunty.
I want to join them.
Okay, yeah, I kind of figured as much. So you go over
Instrument
and
of illusions and see if I can perceive in the crowd a satyr or two.
Oh yeah, there's a couple satyrs actually. There's one up there in the playing an instrument. He seems to be strumming.
They're not children, are they? I think I need to clarify.
These are adult satyrs. You're good. So one's strumming away on a big harpsichord. And there's a couple in the crowd. People are dancing. Go ahead and roll me your performance check, and you can add your instrument.
My instrument of illusions. Mm-hmm. Does that give me advantage, or I just cast it?
You just cast it. I would say it gives you a +2 to whatever you roll on top of your proficiency.
So 23.
23. You don't miss a beat. Like these guys don't stop you in the slightest. It's like they it's like, hey, it's like this big welcome brother type thing, and it's like they make way for you. You kind of like part your way inside there. You have your horn. The illusions start going off. What do your illusions look like to spice up the crowd and get everybody even more lively than they already are? What are you doing?
I want to make like little floating like trees and getting chopped by tiny axes and just being all really like dancing trees, like little bitty trees with the flannel and the green with the eagle and stuff. Just make it look like what I saw in the town of the little bits and pieces.
That's perfect. As these little dancing trees and the chopping of the wood and everything like that, everybody livens up. Actually, they start throwing a few like gold coins on top of the stage. People are like clanging their steins together. Beer goes everywhere. It's just like, yeah. If it was even more, it was far more lively than it already was. So you've passed with flying colors. Actually, go ahead and add 5 gold pieces to your inventory for that.
Tips. Perfect.
So as everybody's enjoying their drinks and getting around, is there any conversations, anything going on between anybody?
Smalls is gonna walk up to Maddie
Mhm.
at the bar. Every time I drink with you, it does not end well. We must change this. Let us drink.
Let's drink. Yeah, you passed out kind of early last time, huh?
I'm gonna drink with you. Bad things happen. Let's drink some
Well,
more.
if you
I'm gonna
don't
walk up
poison me
and
drink, I could last longer.
I'm gonna walk up to them with a cup.
Be like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
We got challenges. All right.
I think this guy's made of alcohol, though. I think we could take him this time, Smalls.
All right.
Yeah,
Who's all participating? We got Smalls, Maddie, Morb. Anybody else?
Xena,
I'm here on the stage, gonna drink too. I'm gonna watch
Drink
them
and
while I'm
perform.
dancing around.
Xena. All right.
Smalls is learning his lesson. He's gonna give the help action to Maddie and just pat him on the back and verbally support him that he can outdrink Morb. But
He's doing okay. You're gonna try and
he's
support.
learning his lesson.
You know what? Fuck it. Why not? You give Maddie the help action against Morb's liquid gut. All right. So with that, Xena, Maddie, and Morb, go ahead and roll me Constitution saving throws.
oh,
9 advantage.
You get advantage because you're thing.
I
It's the same roll. 16.
16. What you get, Maddie?
16. Because I get advantage because he's helping me, right?
Smalls is helping you. Yes. So you both rolled a 16.
Yep.
Fucking hey, Xena, what you roll?
a nat 20.
A
So
nat
22.
All right. Well, Morb and I pass out, I guess.
Xena also gets inspiration for that.
So you do. You get an inspiration point. So add that.
Yay.
So
Okay.
routing back
So-
on that real quick. When we have advantage, if we roll nat 1, do we still get that inspiration or no? From Abby.
Yes,
Well,
because if you roll a nat 1 or a nat 20, you get an inspiration point to use. You just can't stack them.
Understood.
So I also have inspiration. Cool.
So with that, Xena actually like stands up on top of her stool and like downs, like she's drinking the same mug-sized mug as everybody else, and she just downs this thing and like kind of puts it out in front of her, turns it, and drops it like a mic drop. And then all of a sudden, all these people start like shouting, and they kind of like pick her up a little bit and start jostling her around. It's almost like this conga line as everybody's like celebrating this first. It's just the first round, but everybody's like celebrating this. And with that, Smalls, you actually feel a large hand on the back of your shoulder, and you turn, and you are face to face with somebody who is pretty much your size. And this guy he's tall, statuesque. He's a middle-aged furbolg. He has light blue skin, a pink nose, big pointed pink ears, and just this thick mat of brownish hair with a thick lumberjack beard. He has this padded leather armor with these big pauldrons also made out of leather that have like these wood etches designs in them, and he's just covered in this coarse body hair. He comes and puts his hand up on your shoulder, and he raises his stein up, and he's this guy saluting Xena, and he just kind of like stands there with all of you, and he's watching your next round. The crowd brings back Xena, and everybody, Morb, Maddie, and Xena, go ahead and roll your Constitution saving throws for round 2.
Round 2.
Smalls is very weary of this guy on his shoulder.
Okay.
I got a 12.
12, all right.
16.
16.
So are we getting the drinks from the bar or from this person?
Oh, no, people are bringing them to you. So, you're good.
I got a 14.
14. Maddie, what'd you roll?
16.
16. Maddie takes the win as all of a sudden, Morb, you start to kind of like stumble ever so slightly. Xena, it definitely hits your head, and you immediately kind of like just have to sit down, and you're out.
Can we say, for flavor, that the more Morb drinks, he's just getting slightly bigger?
Slightly, you kind of like get plumper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down. Your armor starts to like kind of like bulge out a little bit in certain places, and like little bubbles start appearing. Yep. All right.
I got a 6, so is my. Am I
Oh,
too drunk to stand around?
your playing is definitely getting sloppier, but you're keeping up with the band, and they're still enjoying your company. But you're out of the competition.
I'm a little too loud.
All right. With that, I'm going to keep both of you in. It's one more round. As everybody like all of a sudden there's like a little bit of a hush around the crowd as everybody kind of gathers in, and they're waiting for the next round to see who's still standing after this. More, Maddie, roll me your next ones.
17.
17.
2.
Sorry, natural 20.
Hey, man.
Maddie with the nat 20 does the same thing. He just stands up, jams this thing down, turns the mug, drops it. Mic drop is Morb. You just kind of do this like almost like bubbleless, like as your armor pulses out, and you're out. You're done. Maddie takes the win in the drinking contest.
And inspiration.
Yes, he gets inspiration on a nat 20.
Hoorah!
Crowd erupts. Everybody's having laughter. The guy that's standing next to Smalls claps him on the shoulder again, just begins applauding. And then all of a sudden, everybody turns. Like this guy's clapping is like echoing throughout this entire beer hall. It's like everybody all of a sudden turns, and everybody stops for a second. It gets real quiet, and then they all raise their steins again. This time to the goo guy, or to the guy standing next to Smalls, and they go, "To the blue ox! To the blue ox!" And the entire place erupts, and they all tilt their steins to the blue ox, who is standing next to Smalls.
Can I use thaumaturgy to make my voice 3 times louder and also to the blue ox?
Hell yes, do it.
I use my 1 charge to yell it nice and loud.
All right. As all of a sudden, like everybody's like the same things, like everybody's taking in, they're enjoying this, and your big booming voice as you salute this person that everybody in this room seems to respect. And then he walks over to you, takes his hand off of Smalls, and sits down between Maddie and Morb, and just starts shoving more drinks. He actually has a giant stein in his hand. And welcome to the roost. I am Burgermeister Swole. I hope to see all of you. I am glad to see all of you here in my town. It has been a long time since we've had such wonderful company. Welcome to the festival. I hope that was a show. That was a show. Very impressive, especially you. He starts pointing at Morb. Sorry, friend, I didn't catch your name. What is your name? You appear to be leaking a little bit. As you kind of like look off to your side, you've sprung a leak like a water bottle. It starts like kind of like tripling off to the side.
I am Morb, good sir.
All right, he starts going around. You all start introducing yourselves to them. Several of you know that Burgermeister is actually the name of basically the leader of the town, like Major Domo or several of the other leaders that you guys have managed to meet across your travels. But I'm going to go ahead and post what he looks like in the chat. Did I get that in there?
Ooh, nice.
There we go. Xena, you actually are as you're experiencing all this, as you kind of like your stupor begins to fade ever so slightly and your buzz kind of begins to wear off. You see a bunch of those same children that were running around accosting you earlier, the ones you paid the coin to. There's a bunch of them like gathered around, and there's a woman that has the same like tinge blue hint of skin and another furball just like this guy, except she has the most curly, vibrant red hair, and she is grabbing several of them by the ears and is like dragging them around, smacking them on the back, and like she's basically like chastising these children. Post
So,
that.
can I run over to her and speak with her?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
So just real quick, we're dealing with this right now. No, you always begin to introduce yourselves. This guy, his name is Swole Bunyan. It begins
Swole, like
Swole
Paul?
Bunyan. Swole Bunyan. SWOL Bunyan. And he begins. You guys kind of start introducing yourselves. Do you guys who's kind of taking point here? Do you guys want to introduce your group? What do you want to do?
Maddie stands up since he's super drunk and proud of everything that's going on and just having fun. He says, "Thank you for your hospitality. We are," as he looks around at the team, "the Eternal Vanguard."
Eternal Vanguard. This
We
is the
all
first.
live. Yeah.
All right. Hell yes. Okay. Eternal Vanguard.
Oh,
Are we establishing a name?
Yep.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
finally
shit.
decided.
You can call us EV for short.
The EVs.
EVs. Okay, the Eternal Vanguard. Hell yes. And all of a sudden, you announce this again. Same little bit of a quiet stands across the crowd, and all of a sudden, Swole picks up his stein, clangs it with all the rest of you to the Eternal Vanguard, and they all of a sudden, just everything starts free flowing again. The music picks up. Everybody's having a good time. Well, welcome, Eternal Vanguard. It is fantastic to see all of you. Fantastic to meet all of you. I am welcoming you. I am hoping to see many of you in the competitions tomorrow.
Oh, what competition?
What?
Oh, well, well, in the morning we have the lumberjack triathlon. Yeah, it's legendary around here, I must say. And all of a sudden, everybody kind of like roars up a little bit. Ah! It's like it's been a long time since I've had a good batch of challengers that were not of my own people. You've got a couple good strong arms here. It looks like it'd be fantastic to see several of you there. Even the smaller ones, come join, participate. It'd be a good time, huh? And we also have the hunt. So anybody who's not keen on swinging an axe against me tomorrow, you can participate in the hunt. Always a good time as well.
Smalls perks up and turns around very quickly at the thought of swinging an axe.
But yeah, he goes on and explains. He doesn't really go into great detail. He kind of has this running joke of he's not going to give a leg up to the competition with too much information. But you all have been thoroughly welcomed to the township of the Roost. Everybody's having food and drinks and enjoying. Even Ingus off on the side there is kind of having a little bit of a moment to himself where he just like cracks a little bit of a smile as he sips away at a few extra drinks that night. But the floor is open. Does anybody want to have any conversations or anything?
I'm checking on Drum.
Go ahead.
So you will find Drum kind of swaying along with everyone, but just has a white knuckle grip on his drink. Not really socializing with anyone.
I imagine this isn't something you want to talk about right now at this very moment.
I think I did better than previous times. But it's probably something that would spoil the festival, so.
Yeah. Does Drew know?
He does not. Though his ability to turn into a dragon might prove very useful. I shouldn't think like that.
I think once we are getting ready to bed down for the night, we should probably pull him aside and have a conversation. And I also think that you should release at least some of the grip that you have on that cup, because even though it's made of wood, I think you're about to break it.
Drum looks at the cup and just kind of sets it down in front of him. Kind of mutters to himself, but that's fine. We aren't staying here long, are we?
Only as long as we need to. There's no jobs for us to do, so we're here until we are able to get those pieces for the cart. Then we continue on.
Maddie falls in there drunkenly and puts his arms around Abby and Drum. I love it here. Oh, we should stay forever.
I'm sure you could.
Yeah, I think I'll hang out near the cart tomorrow.
I'm gonna just kind of like nod.
I didn't hear what you said, Matt, if you said something.
I said, what's wrong with you?
Just life. Life is what's wrong with me. It's a fucking problem right now.
Yeah, I think Maddie kind of quiets down then, kind of lays off of him since he sees he's pretty upset.
Do you want to take a walk outside?
I think I'll be fine. In this crowd, it's easier than being caught alone.
I could go with you. I'm sure we could also get Drew.
No, just enjoy the festival. I won't cause trouble.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of just like nod, and then I'm gonna turn to Maddie and be like, "By the way, you look good," and then walk away to get a drink.
Maddie gets all red.
All right. So a couple of these conversations that are going on. So Smalls, you're actually engaged with Swole right now and having a conversation. It's like, yeah, so am I going to see you in the competition tomorrow, my friend?
Oh, quite possibly. You mentioned swinging an axe. I do
Yes.
like to swing an axe.
I can tell, especially by the one that's on your back right now. You should see mine. And he actually pulls out this large, like, battle axe that he has connected on his hip. It's like it's something like for two people, like your people of yours and his size. It's something you could easily wield one-handed. But anybody else of like definitely shorter stature, it's gonna take two hands and all they have. But he just like slams onto the table, and you see this magnificently adorned, like dwarvish kind of like battle axe, and has like this strange, like kind of like a viney motif going through it. It's got it has an etching of several cut down trees etched into it as well.
Ah, this is very fancy. A little small for somebody of your stature, but very fancy.
Ah, yes, as my wife says, it's not about the size of the axe; it's how hard you swing it.
I have been told this before. Why do you think they call me Smalls?
Ah! Like it erupts in laughter. Do me a favor, though, my friend. If you're going to compete, just like I'm going to give you a fair warning about the clown. Okay, there's a clown here. He stopped in a few days ago. He decided to make himself the unofficial like master of ceremonies of our festival. He's getting on my nerves a little bit. So just I'm trying to keep the peace. So I wanted to come over and tell your friends like it's this friendly competition. Nobody is out to kill anybody. Do your best. Try not to kill the clown. Okay.
Wow. I will do my best.
Yes,
So,
he came through with a caravan. He was he was leading a bunch of like animals out of Sylvaden, and he was supposed to take them back to Trinaborg, but he got all infested with with our festival here, and he paid one of our locals here to take it back to Trinaborg for him. So yeah, he's already on my nerves a little bit.
oh, okay. Smalls is just going to take that information and hold on to it for a minute. And he's putting two and two together the fact that this clown's circus is not making it back to Trinaborg.
Several of you are actually overhearing this conversation, and just like you pick up on the details of like caravan animals. So do with it as
So
you will.
we can hear this.
Oh,
Several of you
So
can.
so can I ask him what kind of animals they were?
Oh, I don't really remember. I wasn't paying much attention. There were several in the cages. Some kind of dogs, I think. There was a big sloth. I remember that one. It was funny. The children loved it.
Hmm. So he came in. Did he have a caravan then? They were in cages. They were behind a caravan.
Yes. Yeah, the clown was hauling it, but he stuck around and hired one of our locals to take it back to Triniborg for him. Why?
Um, I was just curious. About the animals, and now I'm curious about the clown. But I'm gonna talk. I'll. Never mind. It's just in my mind now. Thank you.
Smalls is looking at Xena like, shut up.
And she is.
I'm just gonna side eye Xena as she walks past me, and I'm just gonna be like, "Oh, mm."
Sorry, did anybody cut out? Was there conversations going on?
No." I'm just gonna side eye Xena as she's passing by me. I'm just like, "Oh, okay."
And my eyebrows go up at her. Mm-mm.
All right. Okay. You use that information as you see fit. But with that, you guys continue to have, to make merry and revel throughout the, through 7 more hours throughout the night. You have some more food, some more drink. Everybody eats their fill. Again, it's festival time. It's like you're not having to shell out coins for this. There's, if you want to leave tips and whatnot, you're absolutely welcome to, especially among the bar staff and the entertainment. But other than that, The floor is yours for the rest of the night. Does anybody want to have any conversations as you guys make your way back? There is an inn that is adjacent to the beer garden. If you would like to stay in in a bed, you absolutely can. It's going to cost you 5 gold pieces. If you just want to go and make camp back at the wagon with Ingus, you absolutely can do that.
I would like to approach Drew in a drunken state a little bit, going, Drew, you see what I did on the stage? I noticed you suddenly weren't looking.
I'm sorry, darling. No, I saw your performance. It was very good. You're really good at this.
Yay. Do you want to go to bed with me?
I think we can afford a room at the inn.
Because I got a tip of 5 gold. I think I could get a room. Blah.
All right, let's get some water in you first.
Water schmatter. Those satyrs in the field say that I'm a cool dancer too.
I'd say they're right.
And I'll just plop in your arms. That's it. That's my conversation.
You're muted.
Muted.
Oh,
Sorry about
sorry.
that.
Oh,
Took
man,
myself
who
off
was
mute.
it?
As everybody kind of like starts beginning to like get up from the tables and make their own way, all of a sudden you hear this really obnoxious ruckus from the back. So at this point, Monroe, you stepped off the stage and the band's began to kind of clean up and every little bit like that. But all of a sudden, you see this person step out. They are wearing the most ridiculous looking, like open chested jumper looking thing that is skin tight. He has this ridiculous purple hat on. His face is painted white. He has like the full on clown makeup with his face and his eyes. He has this ridiculous plush of like blue hair. And his entire jumper thing is like this weird, like green and pink and black, like tiger stripe thing. And I'll go ahead and post it to the chat here.
Is this a more extravagant interest than Angus when we first started?
Oh my god.
As he kind of like as extravagant. What now?
As Angus's first entrance when we started.
Oh yeah, this is a hell of a lot more extravagant than the first time you met Angus.
Okay.
This guy jumps up and he's like dancing. He's like kind of like dangling between two chairs, like standing on the back of two chairs. And he has this giant bullhorn in his hand. And he gets up and he starts shouting at the top of his lungs. And go back to my notes. And he comes up and he says, "Everybody, welcome to the we're gonna have some competitions tomorrow." And he's going to get going off on this spiel. And he talks about the legendary Roost Lumberjack Triathlon. And I'm not going to do that voice for too long because it'll kill me for the rest of the session here. But he begins just like squealing off at everybody through this giant bullhorn. For the Lumberjack Triathlon, he explains that any and all are welcome to join, but physically adept individuals will have a better shot at taking the crown from the reigning champion. Bunyan! Participants must use an axe, be it a hand axe, a battle axe, or a grate. If you don't have one, one can be provided. Magic is not restricted as long as an axe is used, and abilities are not restricted as long as an axe is used. So he goes into that, and then he goes in and he starts explaining the second competition. But just before the second competition gets into that, a bunch of people kind of like run over to him. He starts going into like something about a hunt, and people are like trying to get him off the stage, and they start shouting at him. Several of you can hear that again, any and all participants are welcome to participate. Sneaky, clever, keen-eyed, or nimble hand and feet folks are going to give you a leg up on the competition here. It's just a good old-fashioned hunt, and then they cut him off.
Is that the clown they were talking about? He's very obnoxious. I understand why they don't like him.
As like several people are dragging him away, some of you can hear off in the distance. "You do, cat."
This guy scares me.
Definitely not a wizard.
Definitely not a wizard.
Any conversations anybody wants to have before you all settle down for a long rest? Anything going on?
No.
I'm gonna talk to Maddie real quick.
Go for it.
Xena. So, Maddie,
Hey,
are
Xena.
you? Hey, are you gonna compete tomorrow?
Oh, absolutely. That clown annoys me so much.
Okay, me too. But I he just he's uh I'm not gonna compete. I'm just too afraid from the last time, and I am too small. I'm not gonna try that. But I just wondered, and it sounds like Smalls is gonna compete.
Oh, absolutely. But he's gonna do the lumberjack thing. I think I'm gonna do the hunt. I just know that that's just more up my alley.
Well, I just have a bad feeling about the hunt. I just because they didn't say what they're gonna hunt. What are they hunting?
I don't know. It's a good call for sure. I That person though, that clown, he was the one that it sounded like had those animals, right?
Yes, yeah. I think he's a thief. I mean, I think that he attacked that cavern and took all those animals, and I just don't have a good feeling about him at all. And anyway, just my intuition is saying to be very, very careful if you're going to compete. And Smalls can probably hear me too. Smalls, that's you too. I just want you guys to be careful because I get this terrible feeling that it's just not what it seems to be. Anyway, that was it. I just wanted to share my thoughts with you.
I
And
appreciate that, Xena.
yeah, so anyway, I'll try and help out any way I can from the sidelines. I don't are we going to be at the sidelines? Are we going to be able to I guess everyone's going to be there watching the competition, eh?
I think so. Sounds like it's a pretty big deal.
Okay. Okay. I don't know. Just my thoughts are I just have a creepy feeling about this and that guy. He just freaks me out and I don't like him or his attitude about any of this. So, there you go. My 2 cents.
All right. With that, everybody go ahead and take. Is anybody else any other conversations? All right. With that, oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna have a quick sidebar with Avi, but I'll message her so we don't waste time.
Okay. I just want to get everybody to their first break. We're about 15 minutes over. So everybody go ahead and take another long rest if you need it, by all means. But with that, go ahead and message me who all wants to participate in the Lumberjack Challenge or who all wants to participate in the hunt.
Marshall, do I get to see which contest the clown's going to be a part of at all, or no?
Just to reiterate from what Swole was telling you guys earlier, he's not officially part of the town. He came through several days ago with the caravan of animals, got excited about the festival and decided to stay and made himself the unofficial MC or master of ceremonies of the festival. He paid a local to take the caravan further north to Trinaborg.
Got it.
So he is kind of like emceeing it unofficially. It's just everybody here. You get the vibe that like this whole festival and a lot of like the attitude surrounding it is to be welcoming and to be jovial and to put your cares and everything aside. So nobody's really supposed to be like outwardly aggressive towards people, especially outsiders. You're supposed to be welcoming. But this clown is really pushing the boundaries of some people.
So if an outsider fights an outsider, they won't be too mad. Got it.
You don't know.
It's still everything their ceremony stuff, their festival.
Okay. But with that, everybody go ahead and take your break. Let's come back in 10 minutes. It is 7:47 at my time now, so let's make it 7:58, just before the turn of the hour, and we'll jump into the next day.
Cool. I do cocaine.
Let's kill a clown.
Yeah, let's kill
Sharpening
this guy.
pan in the corner. I don't know
No
how
questions
I'm
asked.
sharpening a pan, but I'm figuring that out right now. Don't worry.
Ask Rapunzel. She got you.
I have an
She
idea,
touched it
and
all.
that would be like the outer front edge opposite of the handle, just thinning out the wall of it. So you just flip it over and swing it down and just like grate someone's face off.
Mm-hmm. I
And
like
just,
that. I think that would work
I
really
love that.
well.
yes.
What is the metal made of for your pan?
Well, it's a magical pan.
Okay.
Cast iron,
Um,
the
well,
most magical of pans.
yes, but no. It's an arm blade, so it's literally infernal iron, the same iron I'm made out of.
Oh shit.
No, it's cast
pretty cool.
iron.
I'm not cast, I'm forged.
I'm not cast.
Those are cheap replicas.
We should say
However,
that to Ark in the game and see what happens.
uh,
I'm almost tempted to. I wouldn't know though, but that's really funny.
however, I do love the fact that my name is currently Cubert.
Hubert.
Oh, I should go get something to drink before I forget to do that again. I shall be right back.
Yeah, well, let's go get some water.
Yeah, his name is Cubert because even though I had a discussion with him about the decanter of endless water, I 100% didn't ask his name, and he didn't tell me. So he is Cubert.
All right, we got about a minute. So I didn't get any messages from anybody. Who's all well, I got a couple messages, but who's all participating in the lumberjack challenge? I got small.
Morb isn't.
Anybody else?
Drum is.
You have to have an axe, right, for that?
Yeah,
I
if you
have
don't-
access to spare.
Yeah, if you don't have one, what they said they will provide one to you, though.
I'm not even proficient with axes. I don't think so.
Mm. Okay, so we got smalls. Tattoo for thaumaturgy. Yeah, I'll add it to your stuff here later.
Drum
can
is
just-
participating too.
Yeah, you can just search Agni Kai. I think it's the red one is the thaumaturgy.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so Drum, you're going to participate in the lumberjack challenge?
Yes.
All right, so we got smalls, Drum. Anybody else? Okay.
I don't know if Monica was. She went to the bathroom real quick.
Okay. Well, it's at time. So, and who all wants to participate in the hunt? I saw Maddie.
Mm,
Did you say sleight of hand would be decent, my good sir?
see, Morb is suspicious of that clown guy, so I think he's just gonna keep an eye on him.
Guys, he's the master of ceremonies, so it's like
No, I know. Just he doesn't like boisterous people like that, so he's just gonna be keeping an eye on him. Not in the competition, just like watching.
all right. So I have Maddie for the hunt. Anybody else?
I'll join the hunt. You said
Argus.
sleight of hand, yeah?
Yeah, it's like people that are crafty, clever, quick of foot, quick of hand.
Yeah,
Okay, Argus.
got a couple of those.
And I'll join too. Morn is gonna hunt it out.
Mordro's gonna do the hunt. Okay, Xena's gonna observe. Or Xena, you didn't want to participate, right?
Sorry, it's muted. No, I'm on the sidelines this
Okay,
time.
so Morb and Xena are gonna observe. Drew, what are you doing? Are you gonna observe? Or are you gonna join in?
No, Drew's gonna watch.
Okay. I need to know what Abby's doing, and then we're set.
So who's all in the hunt? Sorry, I missed it.
Maddie, Argus, and Morn so far.
Okay. Now, can I use Xena for help actions for them, or
Maybe. Don't know.
okay?
Join in and find out. Is Monica back yet?
Not yet.
All right. All right. With that, I all wake up the following morning. Several of you are pretty well hungover, but everybody's still very well fed from the night before. Kind of had a still riding off that liquid breakfast, so to speak, for some of you. But everybody wakes up. Those of you that got a room, go ahead and add 5 points of temporary hit points to yourself if you did purchase the room, because it's a nice feather soft bed. Everybody else, and then we have the next morning. The crowd starts gathering. Okay, everybody's getting up, having breakfast. The beer garden is popping off, and it seems like it died down for just a few hours while people cleaned things up, and then it fired back up the next morning, like without even skipping a beat. But with that, the large groups start congregating. There are several podiums that are set up. There are actually 3 of them. It looks like there's a top tier, a middle tier, and a lower tier. It's like a first, second, and third place. And there's for these 2 different competitions. One is for the lumberjack triathlon. And as you all start getting back, you notice that there's a sign for lumberjack triathlon, and then there's another sign, a banner above the other podium that says cock hunt.
The emphasis of cock hunt, but what was the other one?
Lumberjack triathlon.
Okay.
And again, there's a picture of a log with an axe embedded in it for the triathlon, and there's a picture of a rooster's head for the cock hunt. Crowds are gathering, people are enjoying themselves, and we're just kind of waiting for the ceremonies to kick off. Is everybody back?
Monica's not back.
Okay.
But I think everyone else is.
I'm going to assume she's not participating in anything. All right. With that, everybody kind of gathers around and up on top of a stage. There's Swole Bunyan. He walks up in the same getup that he had on last night. He gets up and starts addressing the crowd, welcomes everybody, in the same kind of that same gentle, welcoming tone that he had with everybody last night. He's going through everything. He's going through several of the outlining the competitions and what to expect here. And all of a sudden, at the same time, that damn clown, he renounces himself. And several of you learn throughout the morning that he calls himself Roxo. Calling himself by MC Roxo. He jumps out and he starts screaming and he starts going through everything and kind of taking over the stage from Swole Bunyan. And Swole, kind of gritting his hands a little bit, he kind of walks off to the edge a little bit, and just like he's letting it slide. But Roxo begins going through everything. But Roxo goes into the competition with the lumberjack triathlon, is where we're going to kick off. This is a competition that is, it's a lumberjack triathlon. You will drink, you will chop, you will drink again, and then you will toss. And he starts going through it. Again, all participants must use an axe, be it a hand axe, a battle axe, or a great axe. If you don't have one can be provided for you. So if you don't have one, go ahead and either add a hand axe, a battle axe, or a great axe to your inventory, but you need to be proficient in one of them in order to use it properly. Otherwise, you're going to be doing stuff at disadvantage. Again, magic is not restricted so long as you're using the axe, and abilities are not restricted so long as you are using the axe. But with that, we have Smalls and Drum. Is anybody else joining? All right. Smalls and Drum, you're all welcomed over, and it's like you guys kind of walk into this big open area. There are several long logs laid out. There's no axes. There are 3 different axes off to the side if you need to use one, or you can use one of your own. But there is another participant. There's Swole Bunyan himself. He is joining in the fray. There is another one that kind of looks like a miniature version of Swole. And he's off to the side as well, but he's kind of like, he's got his arms crossed. He's kind of like trying to do this like weird brooding teenager type vibe going off. And there are various others participating as well. But with that, everybody's ready to take up your positions. You're all kind of positioned in front of your own log. And with this, what's going to begin is you're going to all begin with a round of drinking. Okay. And the DC gets increasingly higher. You're going to take a total of 3 drinks in this first round. DC of 10, 12, and 15 for Constitution. If each one of them that you pass, you get an advantage on your swing in the next competition. Each one of them that you fail, you will be swinging at disadvantage. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
This is a straight Constitution roll, right?
Yes, for the drinking portion. Just like a drinking competition that you guys have been doing time and time again.
Okay.
But with that, Brum, you do notice that Fowl, that long, elongated beak, black feathered individual from the general store. He actually comes over and he starts handing all the bottles to all the participants, and he's actually pulling it off with like this vest thing that he has, and it all has this same like black feathered emblem label on it. You get the impression just looking at it that he is actually the brewmeister here. Everything that you guys drank last night, everything that you've been enjoying through all this, all of the kegs that you saw set up inside of his establishment, this is the guy that's been brewing everything that everybody's been enjoying here. But he hands each of you a bottle, and with that, anything out of Drum in this instance?
He will say thank you through very gritted teeth.
Very gritted teeth. All right. All right. Everybody steps up to their positions, and MC Roxo steps up. It's time to chop some wood, everybody. And with that, I want everybody to step up, and I want you to give me your first Constitution saving throw, DC 10. So, Smalls and Drum, roll and let me know what you got.
18.
18.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You both pass. You guys start chugging this thing down. And you have to finish the bottle. So now as you guys get about halfway down, go ahead and make your DC 12 check.
Oh, that didn't go so well. 6.
6. Oof. Okay, we got one first failure.
9.
Second failure. Look at that. All right. With that, we're going to move on to the third and final DC. You got to finish this off. It's a DC 15 Constitution saving throw.
Natural 20.
Oh, fucking Christ.
What you got?
14.
14. Just misses it by 1. With Drum with the nat 20 as he polishes this bottle off, almost like gritting through his teeth at the same time. This brew, this whatever this is. It actually has like a potato vodka-y type flavor to it with a little bit of spice hinted in. But you polish this bottle off and toss it off to the side. People quickly gather everything up. And Roxo steps up to the podium again. Just grab your ass. Time for the next one. And in front of all of you is a giant log of wood. All of you grab your axes. The DC to hit the log is only a DC 5. At this time, the log has 50 points of damage. Okay, we're going to go through in like initiative. It's going to go Swole, the next competitions, and then Smalls, and then Drum. So the first person to break through their log, the top 3 to finish, the first 3 to finish through their log, are the winners of this round. With that, we're going to polish this off. Swole passed all of his. Swole passed all of his. And we're going to begin. He's going to take a swing. And he immediately does 11 points of damage on his first swing. The next guy steps up. The kid is, like I said, this thing's like a miniature version of Swole himself. It's a young teenage-looking kid. He's got a little bit of a cusp of a beard sprouting out of his chin. His ears are extra long and floppy. He's got that same blue hue. He's going to take a swing. 9 points of damage from the kid. Various others step up. All of them are like actually, most of everybody else failed the drinking competitions for the most part. So several people are already puking their guts out. A couple people are stepping up and attempting to take swings on these logs and are just missing and going ass over tea kettle over the top of these logs, attempting to find their feeding again. With that, Smalls, you're up.
All right. What am I rolling?
It's an attack. So you need to roll to attack. The DC is only a 5 to hit, and then you can roll your damage. If you have anything that increases your damage, or like spells, abilities, you are more than welcome to do that.
All right. Well, I hit with an 8.
Okay. Nice. And you do have 1 advantage to use. If you need to.
Okay. 11 damage.
Nice. You are keeping up with Swole. Same kind of deal as you go clobbering into this thing. Drum, you're up.
All right. So, because Drum is very angry. In general, he didn't think he was going to have to run into their kind again. He's going to go into rage. Before swinging.
Hell yes. You have 2 advantages to use if you don't want to use your reckless, but you guys are both barbarians, so it doesn't really matter.
I will go ahead and use my reckless. I guess that technically hit, but I'm still gonna recklessly swing at it. All right, 16.
16 damage altogether?
16 hits.
Oh, 16
Sorry.
definitely hits, yep.
That looks like 17 damage.
17. Drum comes out swinging with this thing. Just hacks it damn near almost like in half in the way it's just by himself. That. All right, we're back up to the top. Swole is going to use one of his advantages. He's, like I said, you guys can use your advantages too if you want to try and crit. So keep that in mind.
Fine. What?
Huh?
Critical hit.
Oh.
So if you roll a natural 20.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. All right, with that, he's actually going to rage himself. As Swole kind of like all of a sudden notices that Drum is like hacking away at this thing and he's got some serious competition. He begins to take himself a little bit more seriously. So all of a sudden, he kind of rears up, cracks his back and his shoulders, and he kind of like almost gets a little bit bigger than what he is now. And he plants his feet down as you can almost see like this tuft of dirt like kick up off of the ground. He plants his firm feet and he goes wailing on this thing. And he does, oof, unfortunately, he swings a little bit wide. Even with his rage, he only does 9 points of damage. Little mini Bunyan's going to come up next. He's going to take a swing. He does not have a rage. That is only 6 points of damage from Mini. All right. Smalls, you're up.
All right. Smalls is feeling a little left out here. He's gonna notice Drum. He's gonna notice Blue. He's gonna go into rage as well.
Okay.
Little cackles of lightning are gonna come around, but not to attack anybody.
Okay. The crowd like has this like ooh and ah. It's like all of a sudden you have this like a cackle of thunder and lightning about you. Is this like almost like storm giant-esque person that you are? They haven't seen something like this before, so you're definitely gathering a crowd.
10 to hit.
10 to
Which
hit,
hits.
definitely hits.
Wow, that is and oh so very anticlimactic with an 8.
8 damage.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. With that, you're still keeping up. Drum, you are up.
Would you consider that a creature so he can use his lightning storm aura?
It's not a living creature, so technically I don't think it would count.
That's why, yeah, it's like it's a log of wood. I can't really like, and even then, it would be considered cheating. I feel.
Yeah, you might catch it on fire. So.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and use advantage on this one.
Okay.
Damn,
Actually, you know what, Smalls? Because I said magic doesn't, magic is permitted. Fuck it. Roll me the damage for your lightning.
do it.
Oh. All right. 1d6.
Another one.
Yeah.
All right. You're still keeping up, though. Drum, you're up.
God.
All right.
This little, like, poof of lightning just kind of like a
22
Paul
to hit.
isn't really angry. Okay, listen.
22 definitely hits. You can, like I said, you got your advantages if you guys want to try and roll for crits. Keep that in mind.
Yep, that was with advantage. So, and 7 for damage.
7 for damage. All right. You are, as Drum is immediately pulling into the lead here with 7 points of damage. It's pretty neck and neck between Smalls, and Drum. Mini's pulling up a little bit, but he's still trying to keep up as best as he can. All right. Swole is up. He's going to go. Is a 22 to hit, and that is a. Yep, he hits no matter what. Damage. He's going after it. 9 damage plus his rage makes it up to 11. He is pulled into the lead, and he's going after it. 18. 18, he definitely hits. He does not have a rage, but he does 8 points of damage. Up to 13. Whoa, damn. Yeah, he did really good. He pulled 13 points of damage out of this round. As all of a sudden he tries to catch up to the other person ahead of him. He sees several of you pulling ahead. He just kind of gets real angry and just brings this battle axe that he's got down, cleaves it down. Smalls, you're up.
Okay. Clarifying question, real quick. I apologize. Reckless attack. Does that add? Do I attack? Help
No,
me
you
understand.
You just attack twice. You need to take the highest of the two. So roll
okay.
twice if you're going after a crit. So even if you hit on the first attack, roll again to see if you get a 20.
Got it. All right. So he's going to start to reckless attack. He does not like the fact that he is behind. He's got Drum to his right. He's got this blue guy to his left, and he is failing out of the 3 of them. So 8 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Oh my God. All right. So you said roll twice for damage, right?
No, just once.
Just
Roll
once?
twice for your hit. So roll your hit again just in case.
No. Oh. Roll it again just in case. So 18 to hit.
Yep. So you're
still
getting damage.
it's not full. And the damage had been 7 plus 2 because I'm raging. So 9. And then the lightning strike is 5 more.
5 more, so 14 damage altogether.
Yep.
Smalls pulls into the lead. Drum, you're up.
All right. Swing this. Natural 20.
Drum with the nat 20. So full damage plus an additional roll, then double it.
Okay. Hold on. Let me clear out the double roll that it's going to do real quick. All right. And then full damage. $36 damage.
36. With that, Drum pulls ahead as he immediately brings this thing down with all of his rage and all of his fury and splits this log in two. Drum has officially taken the first place position. Everybody else is now competing for second place in this first stage. Okay. Swole is up. Roll. Definitely hits on that. Definitely hits on that. Dirty 20, not nat, unfortunate. And he's going to roll. With a 1 damage plus that is only 8. So Swole is definitely starting to spin. Minnie's going. Oof. 2 hits. Not. And net. Right. And only 6 points of damage for Minnie.
Wasn't that a nat 20?
What's that?
Oh, I thought you had a nat 20 on there.
No, he doesn't have. I forgot that he doesn't. He's not a barbarian. He doesn't get his reckless attack.
Mm.
So that's my bad. So with that, all right, he's just pulling behind, and Smalls, you're up. You are now neck and neck with Minnie, with Small just a little bit ahead of you.
Okay, still in reckless attack. 14 would hit, but let's see, 15, so still hits.
Still hits.
For damage, I'm looking at 18 for damage, plus
18,
the lightning strike.
18 total damage.
Yeah.
As you
I rolled
split,
I rolled a 12 plus 4 for the
Oof.
damage, and plus 2 being that I'm angry.
Yeah, you only had 16 points left on this log. Smalls immediately splits his. And bam, Smalls has taken second place. All right, going back. Swole is with his. 19. 23. 14, 16. And Swole immediately splits his and takes the third place. I'm going to see if Minnie does anything else to hit. He hits with a 14. Does not crit. Total damage, 9. Minnie brings up the fourth place. All the other various participants are nowhere even close to keeping up. They are still hacking away, attempting to get even down to the halfway point. With that, first place goes to Drum, second place goes to Small, third place goes to Swole Bunyan just behind them. And then immediately, as it's all split in two, then all of a sudden you guys are like you don't even have a minute to breathe. You're all picked up and you're all rushed to the next page or next stage of the competition. You all need to drink again as all of a sudden the bird comes out and he starts handing off 3 more bottles to you guys. So Drum, Smalls, and Swole. Same deal. Drinking competition 10, 12, and 15. Go. Roll me the 10.
Yep. Fail on the 10.
All right. Drum.
Talking to myself. 11.
Pass. Okay.
Fail on the 15.
What'd you do on the 12? 10, 12, and 15.
Or 12. Fail on the I failed. I passed 15.
Okay. So fail on the 12. So 2 fails and a success. Drum, what you got?
I have passed all of them.
Okay. Drum passes all this competition. Swole passes the first 2, but fails on the third one. Starts to stumble a little bit. Now we're into the final stage of this competition, the toss. Competitions. Everybody, I need you to make a DC. You are making a DC 12 strength check, followed by a DC 15 strength check to lift your logs. Then you have to make a dex check to run up a hill and toss the log. Once you are tossing it, you get to make either an athletics or acrobatics check and multiply that number by 3, and that is the distance you are throwing the log twice. So with that, we're going to go with Small. We're going to do a Swole first. So for his strength check, DC 12. On a 15 plus 4, he makes it. So you basically what you're going to do is you're going to make the strength check, pick up your log, then you have to run uphill and make a dexterity check, and that DC is 10. You are Swole is making the first two without disadvantage, the third one at disadvantage. Smalls, you were making the first two at disadvantage, and then the second is fine. Drum, you're straight the whole way through. No disadvantage on the dexterity checks.
Awesome.
Okay, so he's lifted his log. He's going to make the dexterity saving throw. Passes with a 12. He's going to use athletics. And a 14 to 7 makes 21. 21 times 3. He throws his log
63.
63 feet. Thank you. All right, Smalls, you're up. You need to make a DC 12 strength check, and then you're at disadvantage for the dexterity.
I'm gonna pass no matter what, but okay.
For strength?
Yeah, pretty sure. Right? 16.
Okay. Make me the dexterity check or the dexterity saving throw at DC 10. You're at disadvantage. Roll twice. Lower the 2.
I'm got first, and then
There's a
Swole got
14
Okay.
and then Swole got
and a
one.
13, so I passed both
Nice.
of those.
Pass. You're up. Go ahead and roll either athletics or acrobatics to throw your log.
Athletics. Nat 20.
Nat 20. We're going to take that, and we're actually going to
26 times 3, buddy.
Yep. So 26 times 3, 78 feet. Okay, and your next dexterity, because of your nat 20, I'm going to give you your next dexterity check to run up the hill straight. You no longer have advantage or disadvantage. Drum, you're up. Strength saving throw, DC 12.
All right. Yeah, that's funny. Nat 1.
Drum
Actually, can I
struggles.
use inspiration on that?
Yes, you can.
All right, we're gonna do that again.
Oh, do I get inspiration on my nat 20?
Yes, you do.
Wow. Okay. 10, so I still fail it.
Still fails, unfortunately. With that, you are now. With that, you fall behind. You're unable to pick up the log. Swole is going to go after his second one. On a 12 plus 4, 16. He makes it above the 15. And make his dex. Makes it with a 12, and he's going to throw his acrobatics as he makes it up to the top. 22 feet times 3, which is 66 feet. All right. Swole is done. Smalls, you're up. DC 10. Or, sorry, it's DC 15 now, strength to lift.
16.
Make it. Dexterity is straight. Dexterity saving throw.
7.
7. Unfortunately, you missed the 10, so the log actually falls back down to the bottom of the hill. You'll get a chance to pick it up again on your next round.
Can I use inspiration to roll again?
Hell yes, you can. You got it. Got to beat a 10.
Yeah, that did not work. Never mind.
Log rolls down to the bottom of the hill. Drum, you're up. You're still lifting your first one. DC 12.
All right. 15.
You make it. DC 10 dexterity. Running up the hill with the log.
13.
Make it. Athletics or acrobatics to throw the log.
4.
The 4 total 4.
Another nat 1, but 4 for the total.
So 12 feet.
Can I use my inspiration for him?
If you were in the competition, I would allow you, but not from a distance.
Dang.
All right. 12 feet.
But I have another inspiration. Marshall, I'd like to say I've gotten 5 inspirations this game.
Yeah, as I say, you guys are getting more inspirations this way. Hey, if you like it, we'll keep it. So, Smalls, you're back up to your second throw, DC 15.
Mark, you're on mute.
Sorry, I walked away to take a piss. What's going on?
Strength, it's your strength check for your second throw.
Gotcha.
15.
18.
Make it. DC 10 dexterity, make it up the hill.
12.
Make it. Go on your athletics or acrobatics to throw the log.
19.
19 times 3 is what? 57 feet for your second throw.
Yep.
All right. Drum, you're up.
All right. Gonna use my inspiration again. 21.
21.
strength.
You got it lifted. All right. DC 10 dexterity to make it up the hill.
12 for dexterity.
Make it. Roll me your acrobatics or athletics to throw the log.
16.
16 feet. All right. 3 is 48 feet. All right. And with that, in the second round of the competition, we have Swole coming in first with cutting his, Smalls coming in second, cutting his second with the longer throws. Well, we'll tally everything up, and Drum coming in third with the shortest throws and the third to finish. So I will tally up all the points, and we will come back to the ceremony later and decide who the first, second, and third champion is. Okay. With that, that concludes the Lumberjack Triathlon. We're actually going to shift over to everybody that was participating in the cock hunt. So MC Roxo comes up and he comes over and he starts exclaiming, like, he gets up on top of the podium with his bullhorn and starts saying, it's a good old-fashioned cock hunt. And winners here will claim the coveted golden egg prize, okay? Groups of any size are welcome to participate, even single participants if you're so daring. So you don't have to work as a team. You can work individually. Try to claim the prize all for yourself. Teams must locate, hold on, and return the golden egg hidden inside one of 3 nests and return it to roost. The first team or individual to return the golden egg to roost wins, regardless of how many or how few participants are still standing. Lethal force is not permitted against your fellow participants, but all else is fair game. So right now we have Maddie, Argus, and Monroe. Is anybody else participating in the hunt? Okay. With that, everybody starts making their way. The competition, there are several participants that also join you. It's a smaller group. Like, not too many people are participating in this, surprisingly. But you all make your way out of town. And you're all being escorted by MC Roxo, who's kind of like doing this like weird baton twirl thing as he starts leading everybody outside of town. You're also escorted by a small group of onlookers and the woman that the group saw last night. It was the also blue-skinned, curly, red-haired furball woman that was chastising the children. She is also escorting all of them. Any conversations or anything want to go on while you guys are making your way out of town?
Can I use the charisma with the lady to be like, any hints, tips, tricks, or trades? Because we're new to this. And I gotta say, your husband's top notch, but you are also really cool.
You're talking to the blue gal, the furball?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me a charisma, just a straight charisma check. Oh well, use this persuasion. Roll me a persuasion check.
+5, don't let me down. Well, doubled it to 10.
Doubled it to 10. She just kind of smiles and like.
I'm inspiration. Inspiration, no.
Okay.
Inspiration,
Reroll.
right?
All right.
For a 17.
17. On a 17, it's the same kind of deal. She kind of smiles at you and is like, not really too many hints I can really give you. I just, when we get out there, you'll kind of see. Look, you're just going to want to, I would say this, all right? You don't have to get into the thick of the fight. Just get in there, find the egg, and get out. That's the best thing that I can tell you. Okay?
Cool beans.
All right. Who's all going to like? Who wanted to go and like watch? It was like you guys watched the Lumberjack competition. Is anybody?
Dina's gonna watch.
Zena's watching this.
I'm gonna watch too.
Drew's who's watching?
Abby.
Abby. Okay. Zena. Abby.
Smalls is interested.
Okay. Yeah, you can definitely tag along. You guys have finished the Lumberjack competition.
I'll definitely be there.
All right. So everybody that wants to come along and just kind of watch, you're more than welcome to. About 20 minutes of a brisk walk outside of town, you make your way over a little small crest of a hill. There's a slight clearing off in the distance where a bunch of trees, it looks like it's never really grown. It's kind of a dry, arid land just above the marshland here. You see off there are 3 nests that several of you can see definitely keenly. And there's also a handful of animals walking around. They seem to be this like strange... it's almost like they're a hideous hybrid of like a lizard, a bird, and a bat. This weird strain. There's like you can see about I don't know half a dozen of them or so, maybe 9, 10 or so, just kind of wandering around patrolling these various nests. Is anybody here proficient in history or nature?
I am.
Anybody?
Unless you want somebody specifically doing the thing.
No.
The
Anybody,
observers?
anybody that's here now is like that's observing from a distance. You can see.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
proficient in nature.
Yeah, give
Yeah,
me a
me
second
too.
to roll. You said
14
nature or what?
history.
Nature it is.
Nature and history, or history or
Oh,
nature. Okay.
I got a 13 in nature.
13 and
22 in nature.
22.
I got a
Nice.
14 in nature.
Okay, nice. All three of you know that immediately off in the distance, you recognize what these creatures are. These are cockatrices. And on all of those checks, you know that cockatrices they love treasure. So all three of you know, even though none of you are participating, you would know that the golden egg the nest that has the golden egg is probably extremely well decorated. These birds like flashy. They like to pimp their houses basically. Nobody
Hey,
knows.
Marshall.
Mhm.
Before we get started, can I use my dragon horn and actually instead of a healing potion, can I do a potion of climbing?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get that because it lasts for an hour, so I think I'll be fine for this competition.
Okay. Maddie, Argus, and Monroe, are any of you proficient in perception?
Yes.
No, just the hit. I was on history. I had a 14 on the history.
No, this is perception. This is something different.
Dirty
But,
20.
Dirty
but would I
20?
know about what you said before, though?
What's that?
You said about the egg and everything. Since I had a history 14,
Oh,
would I know that?
yeah, you would know that then. Sorry, I didn't
Okay,
catch yours.
cool.
Yes, you as a competitor also know that basically the golden egg is probably in the most heavily decorated nest.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay. Monroe, on a fifth, what did you get? A dirty 20?
Dirty 20.
On a dirty 20 perception, you notice that there's also you notice that there are 3 nests like directly down in this valley. There's one to the east, one to the north, and one to the west. You also notice that there's a 4th nest on that dirty 20 perception that's kind of a little ways off from the north nest, but it doesn't appear to be as highly decorated.
I relay that to Maddie and Argus.
Are you
And
doing?
I go up to him and say, "Are we going to be a team?"
I think that we should be, since it's all split up here. I think we all try and do different nests, and if you guys are in for splitting the prize, we can split the prize at the end, and whoever gets the egg can just get the first place or whatever to stand on the podium. But we'll split the prize.
And who are you again? And I look at the clinky metallic thing in front of me.
Ah, yes, dear. My name is Argus.
Argus. Flashy.
So can Xeno walk up to the trio?
Nope. Non-participants are not allowed to talk to participants. As you kind of like move forward to try to do so, the gal the blue gal immediately like puts her hand out and just gives you a very stern like no, shakes her head.
Okay.
Okay. With that, you also kind of take notice of there's a couple other people. There's two other groups here that are participating. There's one group that just kind of appears to be just normal villagers, but there's also another one that kind of seems to be taking this a little bit more seriously. There's a minotaur in their group. There's a halfling, and then there's a half elf. The minotaur, he's not exactly like the most built, like you're used to seeing like these massive brawler type minotaurs. Now he's actually pretty lithe, a little on the shorter side. His horns are curved back. He's got like this leather getup of armor and several small knives decorated or littered across his belt. The halfling though is just yoked to the nines. He is only about 3.5 feet tall, but he's just absolutely shredded. He's got this like cross leather harness thing on his chest. He's got this big bushy Fu Manchu style mustache, big do rag pulling his hair back. He's got these little bitty like speedo wrestling short things going on. And then there's a half elf that has like his hair slicked back and just has this like kind of like it has this air of like annoyance about him. He's just kind of like sitting there like he's bored. But then the rest of everybody else that's participating just appears to be random villagers that want to take a stab at it. Okay. But with that, everybody kind of takes positions. Where do you guys want to kind of position yourselves? What nest do you want to try and go after first? The east, the west, the north? Try to go after the far one?
Monroe, Argus. I'm probably going to be the fastest out of everyone here, just with my key that I can use. So whichever one you guys want me to go after, I can. I'll probably have a pretty good head start. Plus, I also just took a potion of climbing, so I should be able to climb up it really fast.
What is your movement speed actually?
It's 40, and then with my key, I'll be able to actually do the bonus action, double
so
it, and then
80.
my normal action. So I'm gonna be able to go 120 feet in one turn.
Coddle's gonna follow you, dashing every time.
Oh,
Because
I take
Coddle
it.
has 60 foot of normal movement and then dash 120.
Well, are we gonna split? If we split up to 4 nests, should we have Coddle do its own nest also?
Coddle only has 7 HP.
Yeah, that's probably better.
Plus,
Okay,
I can use Coddle to communicate. So
yeah. Monroe, do you think that one that you see off in the distance is our best bet, or do you think it's gonna want to be one of the ones up close?
Given from what we heard or what you've told us about as well with these cockatrices, is like the flashy things. People are like assuming it's going to be in the flashy stuff. That fourth one caught my eye, and I'm not sure if it's part of the game or not, but might as well give it a shot.
And if it's the
As,
furthest,
as you're all standing around debating it too, all of a sudden the little halfling guy comes up and he starts, let's go, let's do this thing, let's go, brother! And he starts running off down the hill. He's Leroy, and he starts kind of like drifting off, and he's going after the east nest.
all right, I'm gonna go after the
Somebody-
far. I'll go after the farthest nest since I'm probably the fastest then, and we can all go together or split up. It's up to you two.
Because I'm only 35 feet of movement.
yeah, I got 30. So
All right, well, I'm off too then. I'm gonna go off to the far nest, and let's see if we can just split up them.
sounds like fun.
You guys want to go wait for the rest of the group to kind of like charge in, or you want to go try and take first stab at one of these nests?
I think we want to take the first stab at the far one.
Going after
Far
the west?
The furthest one, the one that caught
The
Monroe's eye.
fourth
Oh,
one.
the hidden one? Okay. All right. You guys go charging in. Now, as you guys said, you're going to be the first ones to try to go after the northern net, or the nest that's beyond the northern one. So as you guys are going to kind of run down this hill, everybody starts charging. Everybody up on top of the hill starts shouting like, go, go, go. And everybody starts diving into this thing. Again, the halfling brawler has run off to the eastern one, and he's just dove right in, going after these 3 cockatrices that are defending it, and this giant like plume of feathers. And he starts punching and throwing cockatrices around. They're about the same size as he is. He's trying to like throttle 2 of them and kick the other one away. He's just going to town on these 3 things. He's not even trying to go after the nest. He just wants to beat the shit out of some cockatrices. You guys trying to dive in straight to the north? Are you guys trying to sneak past them? Are you trying to like break past the ones that are defending the north nest? What do you want to do?
I can sneak over. It doesn't matter with our movement. I know we had that whole conversation, but are we all able to make it at the same time?
Yeah,
Or is Maddie there first?
I would say that Maddie definitely gets there first. If you wanted to
Maddie and
if you want to
Coddle
have
get
him
there first.
Yeah, if you want to have them be a distraction and you want to try and sneak around and get to the far nest on your own and keep everything else engaged in combat, by all means.
I relate to the group. That persuasion I got from Blue Lady was just don't get into the thick of the fight. So I think we should like I'll cover you, Maddie, and I'll act like I'm going towards another nest then. Like just stay ground and
That's perfect. And then Argus, if you actually see somebody with an egg, like one of the eggs, communicate to your familiar so we can run back and stop them.
Yes. I can actually talk straight through my familiar.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
then have your familiar sit on my shoulder.
that's so cool.
It's actually following Maddie.
Oh, perfect. Then
'Cause
have
it has
him.
the
Yep.
same movement as Maddie does. So, because I'm within range of you, and it's within range of Maddie.
All right, we're gonna do that, to Marshall.
Okay, you guys are going to engage the 3 cockatrices guarding the north, so that way Monroe can sneak around.
What
I'm
Patty's doing
gonna
the farther
start-
one.
Yeah.
Okay, well you're kind of caught between, like, there's the ones guarding the east nest, the west nest, and the north. If you want to try and break around them, you're going to have to need something that's going to keep them there, or they're going to come after you immediately. So is it going to cause a distraction? Do you want to sneak? What do you want to do?
I have
Yeah.
prestidigitation. I can. Um.
I'm also gonna stealth around them if I can, while Monroe's gonna distract.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna create a non-magical trinket that'll make an illusory image. I'm gonna make it look like a shiny egg.
Oh yes.
Oh, okay. And you use that to try to distract the ones on the north nest?
Yeah.
Okay, I would say from a distance, you create this conjure this illusion of a shiny golden egg. You have no idea what the actual golden egg here looks like,
Nope.
so I would say that you just kind of create a lump golden colored egg and you throw it down at the feet. Maddie, make me a stealth check.
13. I'm gonna use inspiration just because I'll forget about it.
Okay.
13 still.
13. 13's enough. It beats their passive perceptions. They're all kind of distracted by this egg. You do notice that as soon as you throw that down, Monroe, these cockatrices, their attention is immediately drawn to it. These things like the shiny, so they immediately run over and start pecking at it and scratching at the ground, getting more and more frustrated because they can't get at it. They're trying to pick it up with their beaks. It looks like they want to try and haul it off. Maddie, you sneak around. You're able to make it to the the far northern nest unmolested. So with your boots of climbing, you're able to get up in there. It's this one's elevated. It's not built into the ground. So, or with your potion of climbing, I should say. So you get up there. Go ahead and make me a perception check. Perception or investigation?
Let's go with perception. Natural 20.
Natural 20.
Hey.
Give me back my inspiration.
Nice. On a nat 20, unfortunately, this nest is completely abandoned. There's literally nothing here.
Okay, I say that to the familiar. Argus is familiar, to let them know so they can move on.
The half elf that looked kind of bored, he's actually moved over to the western nest, and he seems to be moving his hands and motioning, and he's like muttering something under his breath, and he sends out this like plume of strange gas that goes over the 3 cockatrices there, and one of them immediately falls asleep. Bam.
Oh.
Okay. With that, we're going to. I'm going to say, Argus, what are you doing?
Oh, I was just trying to stay crouched behind Monroe at this point since I'm slow as shit in comparison to Maddie and Coddle. So I
Okay.
assume I would need to roll stealth then.
If you're trying to hide, yes, you would need to roll stealth, but Monroe is definitely not stealthing right now.
And I'm the best stealth that we have on this team, but I decided to.
That's fine because I'm not stealthy at all. At least I'm not shiny though.
True.
What are you doing, Argus?
So since that one's empty, I guess I would start migrating towards, because they went to there's the elf at the west one.
Yep. And the
Then
halfling is attacking
halfling
the
went
eastern one.
east.
Yep.
So there's the northern one, correct?
Yep. The one you guys are positioned in front of right now,
Correct.
with Monroe distracting the cockatrices.
Would it be an investigation to see if the egg is in the nest that
You're going to have to
we're
get to
at?
the nest first.
Okay.
So what do you want to do? Do you want to go try to engage the cockatrices? Do you want to try and sneak past them?
I would try to sneak around them, which I said I would try to sneak, and then I said I failed at sneaking.
What did you roll for the sneak?
I rolled a 7.
Unfortunately, no. You try to sneak around these things. Their attention is immediately drawn to you because they are really pissed off at not being able to pick up this illusionary golden egg, and all 3 are immediately drawn to you. They've used their action to investigate this, but all 3 immediately swarm onto you. One is up, 2 of them by your legs, and one comes flying at your chest.
I'm going to use Burning Hands.
Okay.
It's a 15-foot cone. in
Well, I
front
would
of
say
you.
I would say you used your action this turn for your stealth. You don't have a
True,
bonus
that's
action for
right.
stealth, right?
That is true.
Okay. With that, that appears to be everybody. You all take notice that again. So the brawler, the halfling, is engaged with the ones in the east. The half elf appears to be putting some of them to sleep in the west. And the thief, the Minotaur thief that you all noticed earlier, has completely disappeared from view. You have no idea where he has gone. Maddie, you're up in the far northern nest. Monroe, you were just in front of the northern nest, and you are engaged with your prestidigitation. And Argus, you are now engaged with 3 cockatrices that are coming at you. With that, we're going to return to the top of the order. Sorry, this is getting a little chaotic. I want to keep this moving. So the ones at the west, they are engaged with the one that has fallen asleep. They attempt to actually go after the one that is putting their one of their compatriots to sleep, and then one of them is immediately waylaid by the Minotaur thief, who appears and attacks. He's going to go after them and takes over those 2. Does damage. Attacks one of the cockatrices, damn near cutting one of them in half, and then immediately slinks back into a strange cloud of dust that he has erupted for himself and disappears from view again. But those 2 are stopped. North, Argus, these 3 are going to come after you. They're all engaged with you right now.
Aren't we supposed to have no lethal force?
Against other players,
Against our other participants.
not against the nature wife.
Got it.
Argus understood the assignment.
Yeah, words are important.
Phrasing, my dear.
Argus, what's your armor class?
My armor class is 13.
13? Yeah. All 3 of these definitely hit you. You take 12 points of piercing damage. I need you to roll me a DC Constitution saving throw.
Okay, in response, I'm going to need them to roll a dex saving throw, or one of them, for Hellish Rebuke.
Okay. We're using horde mechanics here, so it's all one lump sum of health power. I rolled a 7. They have a +3, I believe. +2. 9.
They fail, so they take 7 points of fire damage.
Nice.
And I took 11, correct? And I need to roll you a what saving throw?
You took 12 points of piercing damage, and roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Is it against disease or poison?
It is a magical effect.
Heard, so it's just a straight. You said con, right?
Yes.
That's a 22.
22. Nice. You're good. And I will actually clarify that. With that, the brawler is engaged with the ones in the east. He is still attacking them. He's going to make his attacks against them. He tries to strangle one of them and tries to kick the other. He does manage to keep one of them restrained, and he does damage to the other. Doesn't roll that great. Another 7 points of damage. So he is just he's like not even interested in the nest. He's just here to fight. And they all 3 are actually hitting him. He doesn't have like the dude's running around pretty much buck ass naked. All 3 of them hit him, and his Constitution saving throw. He fails. As all of a sudden these things start piercing and pecking at him, as like one's on his leg, one's on his chest, the other one's scratching with their legs. Monroe and Maddie, what's your passive perceptions?
13.
Sorry, trying to find it. 12.
12 above 10. You actually all kind of look over as these guys as he starts like screaming a little bit as he's kicking these things and like fighting these cockatrices off. You notice a little bit of like a stony ashy color begins to appear on his hands and on his legs. All right, and with that, that is all of the cockatrices. That is the brawler. The thief is gone, or the thief is actually nowhere to be seen. The wizard is still maintaining. He's actually going to cast another, as he kind of points his hands out a little bit again, and all of a sudden these bright, colorful, like rainbow colors erupt from his fingertips and hit the other 2 cockatrices, and they begin like fluttering their eyes in this big ass plume of feathers. They begin like trying to scratch at their eyes. It almost feels like they're trying to they're having trouble seeing. So 1 is asleep, and 2 of these others are considered blind on that side.
On the east?
That is the west.
Oh, west. Okay.
All right. With that, Maddie, you're up. Argus, you're on deck.
Can I do something before they take their action to see if this helps?
Yeah, you guys are gonna interchange your guys' initiative.
Do it.
Because I'm going to tell just Argus and Maddie, hey, So, something channeled within me, and I have this new thing that I wanted to try that I learned. And I'm gonna use a channel divinity and marine layer, and I'm gonna create a thick cloud of fog that obscures us in 20 feet.
Okay, and you're putting it on the cockatrices
It's all around me.
all around you.
You're the center
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
me.
I am the fog.
Okay, that's your action, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you were obscured as all of a sudden you kind of like begin twirling your hands together a little bit, and it doesn't seem like it's coming, but it starts like kind of like pluming out of your ears and out of your mouth and out of your nose, and it just envelops you in this like 20-foot cloud of almost like it's like fog on the moors or fog on the edge of a ocean side, and you're just
Yes.
obscured and you disappear from view.
So
That's your
guys,
action.
stick within 5 feet of me, and we can go up to that nest there, and we can probably take a look without the cockatrices looking at me.
Nice. Marshall, so I don't metagame. Is there something you can roll to understand what the cockatrices did when I saw that?
Yeah, you can roll me. You can roll me Arcana or Nature. Yeah, no, I don't think you're proficient in either one, so it's going to be a higher DC for you.
Yeah, I'm terrible in both. So I guess I'll go Arcana just because that sounds fun.
Okay.
17 though. Okay.
17.
Hey.
You get the impression that he's turning to stone. He's being petrified.
Yeah, I tell that through the familiar. Then be careful. I think I see them turn to stone. If I remember correctly, cockatrices can do that if they hit you.
Oh shit. Good thing I have fog.
So Monroe, that you still have a bonus action of movement. Do you move towards the nest, and what do you want to do?
Well, I have this fog going, and they should be 5 feet within me if they wanted to use this as a cover,
Okay.
as a sneak, to have better chances. But what did you guys want to do? I just wanted to show off I can do something cool.
So,
Marshall, how far away is the nest from me since I went up to the far north one?
I'd say 40 feet. You had to go about 10 feet up, and the nest that's in the north now is actually on the ground level, so you don't need to climb into that one.
Noted.
But you're about 40 feet from where you're at, Maddie, and about 30 feet from where Argus is, and I'd say about 30 feet as well from where Monroe is. She's just more off to the side of where Argus is.
And you say it's on the ground?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Monroe, I'm going to head over there right now so we can start exploring it. So let's do that.
All right, we'll all head together then. Fog and all.
Argus, are you close enough that you can go explore it before my turn? That way, if it's not there,
So
go
I
somewhere
am
else.
engaged in combat.
You're
Gotcha.
being attacked by all three cockatrices right now.
However,
Yeah.
to
Yep.
clarify, I am covered by the fog right now, correct?
Yeah, you are just on the edge
You're
of it.
within 5 feet from me, yes.
Okay. Yay. So I'm actually going to use an action to use the wondrous item Pyro Converger.
Oh, shit.
Since no one can see me, for the fun interest of this, because it's entertaining. It is water, right?
The vapor, yes.
Yep. So
Yes.
it's gonna get really steamy really quick. You're just gonna see his hand open up into like a conical shape and just blast a 10-foot cone of fire. I need them to roll a DC 13 saving throw.
13 dexterity.
Yep.
Okay.
Fail, they take half still.
I'm just rolling once for the entire group, and that is actually only that's only 12. No, they fail.
They take 46 of fire damage.
Hell yes.
That's another 8 points of damage.
8 points altogether?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Since Coddle's within range, Coddle is going to use 60 foot. My bonus action is to command Coddle to attack them.
Okay. Roll it.
I also read that the poison for Sting is actually based on my attack modifier, not the original poison. So it'll be a DC 12 on it if 14 hits.
Okay.
No, 12 hits. My bad.
12 does hit. Yeah, that hits.
Okay. I need them to roll a DC 12 con save.
On. I rolled a 15 without their modifiers.
Yeah, they don't get poisoned. So
Okay.
that's a win, and then I think it's just a 1d4? Yeah, it's just a 1d4 plus 2. Roll. They take another 3 points of damage.
Right. One of these birds is looking messed up.
I'm,
But you're keeping them engaged. I would say because it's a blind attack, because it's a cone of fire. It's not a. You're not rolling at disadvantage. You're just basically shoving out a plume of flame. So there's no save there or no
Would
roll there.
Coddle have rolled at disadvantage?
Does Coddle have blind sight?
Yeah, I have blind sight 10 foot.
Yep. So Coddle's good. I thought so.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Pseudo dragons
good.
are weird.
Okay. That
Took
is
on me.
everything. That's everything for Argus, I believe.
yeah, I'm gonna run over there to the nest then to see if I could explore it.
Okay. Mornrow, are you trying to cover Maddie, or are you just like standing around doing this like plume of smoke?
I'm trying to cover as much as possible because it is if they're 5 feet within me, then they're obscured. If they leave, it's still covering 20 feet, so they can still do good, but it's not gonna be like an advantage roll to be fully obscured.
Okay, so you're trying to obscure them from attacking Argus?
Like I was trying to get 20 feet around the nest and where the cockatrices are. That way, Maddie can explore the nest, and Argus has a bit of a leeway.
Okay,
for his
so you move between the nest and Argus right now. So you have 20 feet on
Yeah.
either way. I'd say that's okay. Between that, you're covering just on the edge of where Argus is. So basically the cockatrices are obscured, but so is Argus. So he's attacking a disadvantage if he uses anything. But so are the cockatrices. But you are obscuring their vision from Maddie, who now has a clear line of sight to the nest. He's good.
Yes.
That's fine with me.
Okay. Maddie.
I can put it away if I need to.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna dash. I'm gonna run over there since it's 40 feet, which is my movement to get to it.
All right, you dive in. Are you gonna try to Are you trying to do this stealthily? Or are you trying to like climb in and just do it as quickly as possible?
If I do it as quickly as possible, will I be able? If it's there, can I grab it and run, or do I would not be able to do that?
You'd have to find out once you get in there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that because it's a speed thing. I'd rather just get there as quick as possible so I can get out as quick as possible.
Okay, you dive into this nest. You're kind of having to get on your belly a little bit and kind of move in there ever so slightly. You're pushing a few things out of the way. You get inside, and all of a sudden your eyes are lit up with all of this gold and shine. There's gems in here. There's like shiny plates. There's a bunch of silverware that looks like it's been plucked off. A couple of like strange filigree items that have been ripped off of the side of like maybe houses or whatnot. There's a shiny doorknob, all kinds of things, and there's also a whole bunch of cockatrice tricks inside of this nest. So. You can either make me a dexterity saving throw to try to get out as quickly as possible, or make an investigation perception to see if you see the egg.
Yeah, I'm gonna do perception to see if I see the egg.
Okay, roll me the perception.
20 flaccid.
20 flaccid. On a 20 flaccid, you do not see anything in here resembling an egg, but you are assaulted by a ton of these little cockatrice chicks as they all come pecking at your nose and at your face, grabbing at your ears and trying to pull everything off. Do you have any like jewelry on yourself? Any earrings, piercings, anything like that?
No, I don't. Just my gi and bandages.
Okay, nope. Nothing there that's really to draw their attention. They are just freaked out and attacking you, and you're going to take 66 of piercing damage as these all things come at you.
Can I finish my turn first, or are they interrupting it?
Yeah, it's like I said, you could either choose your dexterity to try to get out of the hole to try to avoid them attacking you, or you stayed and you looked around, and they're all getting an attack on you now. That's
Okay.
4 for that one. Oh, shit. 5 and 3, that's 8, 12. Shit, 13. And that's a full 6. 19 points of piercing damage as these things all come down on you, and I need you to make a DC Constitution saving throw. Just one.
Okay. 11, but I'm gonna use my inspiration because I don't think that's enough.
Okay.
Still 11.
11. 11 is the DC. Meets it, beats it.
Sweet.
As you are assaulted by all of these things. I believe you have used your movement to get to the nest anyway, so you're currently inside of this thing. You'll need to make a dex on your next turn to get out.
Well, I have my bonus action, which I have a couple of things.
No, it's true. Step of the wind and everything. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna use Step of the Wind, which gives me another 80 feet. Because it's a dash for my bonus action. Just takes a key point. So I'm gonna use that. I'm going to tell these guys that there's nothing that resembles an egg inside here. I feel very confident about it.
Okay. A few of these guys are going to get opportunity attacks against you because you are leaving their threat range. Only 2. What's your AC?
17.
17? Okay. Only 2 hit you then. You take another 5 points of piercing damage. And you already made your DC for this round, so I'm going to say you're good.
So I quickly tell them that there's nothing inside this one, so I'm going to go to the... which one's further away, west or east?
You're about the same distance from either one. They're equally spread out. So you can go after the one that the guy that's keeping them, the caricature. You can either go after the one that the brawler's fighting them, keeping them engaged, or you can go after the one that the guy seems to be keeping them asleep and blinded, but you don't know where the thief is.
Yeah. I'm going to go... I'm going to tell them I'm going to go to the one with the brawler if we want to split up and try to go to the other one because we're running out of time.
Okay.
So I'm going to use 80 feet that direction towards the brawler.
Okay. I'm going to say you definitely get inside the nest, but that is all of your movement because you no longer have an action to either... Well, you want to climb in, right?
If I can.
Okay. With the rest of your movement, I will say that you can... Yeah, because you have 80 feet. 80 feet to dash, or does it just give you an additional 40 feet?
It's I can use my key point to do dash for my bonus action. So it gives me...
So it just gives you another 40 feet. Because you already used your action to get to the nest for the first time.
Let's see. Step of the wind. You can spend 1 key point to dash as a bonus action so you get dash for the bonus action part.
Okay. So you get another 40 feet. I'm going to say that you're able to get to the nest, but you can't climb in this round.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. That's Maddie. That's Argus. That's Monroe. We are back up to the top. I'm going to go through these. All right. The ones in the west are going to go after... 2 are actually going to... Well, actually, 1 is going to break away from you, or break away from fighting the halfling because he sees you at the nest, and he's going to come after you. You said 17's your armor class?
Mine's 17.
He doesn't hit you. That's a 15. So, one of these things comes and engages with you, but you are engaged with one of them. The other 2 are going after the brawler. They both hit. He has nothing for an armor class. And he takes damage, and he has... Several of you start to notice, too, like the gray, like stoning and everything across his arms is starting to creep up ever so slightly higher. Both of his arms are now solid. One of his legs is starting to creep up his hip. He's got a little bit starting to show on his neck. But he's still holding on to these 2 cockatrices as hard as he can, and his fingers are starting to harden over as well while he's still, like, holding them and grasping them. All right. Argus, the 3 are engaged with you, but they are obscured by Monroe's cloud. And a 9. Nat 20 and a 16.
Those both hit.
No. I'm rolling a disadvantage because they're obscured. So one of them got a nat 20, but it's the other one was a 16. So
Okay.
looks. What is your armor class? You said 13.
13. Yeah.
Yeah. Even with disadvantage, 2 of these things hit you. So you take 8 points flat of piercing damage. I need you to roll your DC Constitution saving throw. DC 11.
14.
You make it. You're still good.
And it was 11, yeah, that I took damage-wise.
8 damage.
8. Hey.
It's a flat damage.
all at once.
You're good. Okay.
Hellish Rebuke's gonna happen at 2nd level.
Okay. Roll it.
They need Dex 12 saving throw.
Dex 12. They get a plus only 2 to their Dex. I rolled a 17.
So they take half of 20, so they take 10 points of damage.
10 points. As all of a sudden one of these things erupts in a cluster of flame as one of these cockatrices is fully done. It's like there starts to smell like kind of like really nasty chicken in the air.
Now, dear. Don't remember to touch me.
All right. That's reaction. So that is them. The east ones are blind. They are actually going to attempt to... actually, he's too far away. they're going to kind of run around blindly here. I'm going to roll a flat luck check on the app. If they get an 11 or higher, they're going to find him. They rolled a 6. They do not find him. One of the cockatrices is still asleep. The other two are fully blinded. They run around madly attempting to find anything. They're pecking at the ground, pecking at each other. They don't find anything to attack, though. You do notice, actually, no, all three of you are engaged or doing something that obscures your vision. You don't notice. And then we're going to move on to yeah, he's going to continue holding them and keeping them busy there. And we're going to move on to Maddie. You're up. Maddie, Argus, and Monroe.
So you say I'm engaged, right?
You're engaged by one of them, yes. So you can try and break away and take the opportunity attack if you want to dive into that nest, or you can try and kill or attack it and get it off you.
Yeah. I think I'll go ahead and just attack it. I think just trying to get it off me.
Mhm.
15.
15 hits. Their armor class is only 11.
11 damage.
11. Nice.
And if that doesn't kill him, Crusher knocks him 5 feet away from me.
Yep. You are no longer engaged, so you have 5 feet to either move around or whatever you want to do. No opportunity attack.
Since I got destroyed by a whole bunch of baby birds, am I able to stealth into this one?
Absolutely. I'm going to put the DC at 12.
18.
18? Yeah, you're good. You kind of have to carefully and creepily make your way through, and you make your way inside of the nest. You can still definitely hear the one that's kind of like scratching, and it's like it's attempting to get back at you from the outside, but your boots are keeping it at bay just ever so slightly. But you crawl into this nest, and this one is lit up as gold as the previous one. Roll me a perception or investigation.
Perception. Nat 1.
Nat 1.
That's a pretty rock.
That's unfortunate.
There are about 3 different things in here that you could say is like egg-like, and they are gold in color. So you can either try to take all of them or pick one. The left, the middle, or the right one.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try and take all of them.
Okay. Roll me a sleight of hand check just real quick to try and grab all 3 of these things.
19.
19. You grab all 3 on top of some other things that are inside of this nest and just like scoop it up into your shirt, and you kind of like ass scoot your way out of I'm assuming you're moving out of the nest now?
Absolutely.
Okay. All of a sudden, as soon as you get out of this thing, the one that was attacking you stops, looks at you, and lets out this amazing like. And all of a sudden, all the attention of every cockatrice that was still involved in this attack, that was engaged with everybody else, hears that cry and immediately starts making a beeline for you. Everybody that is engaged with them physically can take opportunity attacks. So Monroe and Argus, you can make opportunity attacks against the ones that are attacking, the last 2 that are attacking you guys technically, but all the rest of them are coming for you, Maddie.
Holy shit.
Well.
Does 17 hit?
17 definitely hits. They only have an armor class of 11.
Okay, so I'm going to be proccing it as a green flame blade since it's how green flame blade procs.
Okay.
They will take 3, 5, 7. 4 of that is fire damage.
Nice. One of these other cockatrices are looking pretty fucked up, but it's still running. It's still making a beeline for Maddie. Monroe, you making an attack?
It was a 9 for my attack.
9 unfortunately does not hit. So they all make their way past you, and they're all coming after Maddie. Maddie, you're going to have 3 on you at the beginning of next round. The other 2 are fully encased in the guy that's like petrifying right now, and the other 2 are blind, so they're attempting to run in your like general direction. So they're just kind of following the sound, but they're not going to catch up to you in this round. And one
About how far away are we from the finish line back to the beginning?
You're going to have to make it. So we're going to get back up to the top here. You need to make it 120 feet to make it past the line back to where everybody to return, and then sprint your way back to town.
Ouch.
So, all right. With that, we're up to the top. Maddie, you have 3 of them on you. 3 are going to come at you right now. I rolled dog shit on that one. The other one is a 12. That does not hit. Because your armor class is 17, you bastard.
Miss.
That's a 15. One does hit you. So you take a flat 4 piercing damage, and you need to make a DC 12 Constitution saving throw.
You said it's a 15?
No, DC 11, sorry.
No, but you said 15 out
Oh,
loud.
15 I roll, but they have a +2 to their hit, so it's 17.
I'll
Sorry.
use Silvery Barbs, too. Just make them re-roll that
Oh, shit. Okay.
just to see if I can avoid one.
Okay.
Worth.
I rolled
Yes.
I rolled a 9, so it's +2, so that's 11. That misses.
And I'll take advantage on my next roll.
Okay. Hell yes, Silvery Barbs, that fucking spell. All right. With that, that is actually all of the cockatrices that are still in play. The brawler, he kind of like looks at you in like half a second and just kind of like gives you a smile, and then all of a sudden the last little bit of mobility he has in his thumb, he just gives you this like little thumbs up and like this little smile. Hey, brother, and he completely covers over in stone. All right, and with that, the half elf is actually going to break his concentration on the blinding of the other 2 cockatrices. So now they know exactly where you are, but he's actually going to turn to you, and he's going to utter something, and he's going to point at you, and he's going to use he's going to use the spell command, and he's going to tell you to drop. I need you to make a DC 13 Wisdom saving throw.
Does the natural 20 work?
Natural 20 definitely works. And just kind of like, how do you respond to this like emo looking brooding half elf guy telling you, like literally shouting out this magical command for you to drop everything? How does Maddie respond?
I think the same way he's done every time. Just gives him a big old fuck you with the middle finger.
As you're like these like middle fingers as you're still attempting to hold all of this shit in your arms.
On a natural 20, can we say yes?
Hell yes! On a natural 20, you're good. You're doing a semi juggle, but yes, you pull it off fantastically.
Awesome.
All right. With that, we are up to the top. Maddie, it is your turn. Argus and Monroe are on deck.
Okay, so I have 3 of them on me. That would be opportunity attacks if I dash.
Absolutely.
Only if they're alive.
Yeah,
Me and
I feel
Monroe
like
can attack before you move to try to kill them.
Dude, you're super smart. Let's do that.
I'm gonna fire an Eldritch Blast from 120 foot.
Okay.
Boom.
That's a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
That'll be 2 damage though.
2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Coddle's gonna attack.
One of the last ones is looking pretty fucked up, but he's still pissed off enough, and he wants to get at Maddie. Has not broken away.
Coddle's gonna still go in as a bonus. 14.
14 hits. Their armor class is only 11.
Their DC 13 con save.
13 con. All right, they don't have a bonus to con, so I rolled a 5. God damn it. All right.
If they failed by 5 or more, they fall asleep. He's taking 2 sting damage.
2 sting damage. All right.
As he gets put to sleep.
As one of them gets put to sleep.
For
so
1
Maddie,
hour.
In 1 hour, you only have 2. You only have 2 of them on you now, Maddie.
Monroe.
Beat their ass, darling.
Alright, I'm gonna take out my crossbow since I assume they're farther away from me now.
Oh yeah, they're within 30 feet of you, but yeah, they're a distance. Are you still maintaining your spell?
No, I think now that the cockatrices are gone, it's dispelled.
Okay. Because you only have your sight up to 10 feet, so just reminding me.
Yeah, it's down so that way I can focus on my crossbow now and all the other things around me.
Okay.
But man, like
You can run a melee attack. You're within distance, I think, of your movement speed. So you have options.
Does the thief count as a fiend?
You'd have to roll your ability to tell if you could see if there was a fiend around you, but you don't know where he's at right now.
That's what I was like wondering if I could use divine sense, but
Is your
I'm
divine
scared
sense,
that Maddie's.
is it an action to use your divine sense?
Yeah, actions in combat. That's why I'm not doing anything yet. I'm just.
And just FYI, team, we are over time, so if anybody needs to cut out or wants, it's like by all means, we're going to finish this up, but it is over time. So just put that out there.
I'm just, I need to help Maddie right now.
What do you want to do?
With a nat 20.
Oh, shit.
Get him.
11.
11 damage?
11 damage.
On a nat 20?
Mm-hmm.
That's, you should
Oh,
roll.
wait.
It's max damage, plus an additional roll,
Yeah,
then
reroll
double.
your damage die.
And then damage again. Okay.
And then double it.
So 19 times 2, so 38.
38 damage. You... God damn it. There was 35 hit points left on these two. Explain, how exactly does a nat 20 you're crossbowing, right?
Yes.
How does it look when you nat 20 killing 2 cockatrices with a single shot? What does this look like for Mornrow?
Collateral.
Now that I'm channeling some sort of marine ability in me, I think I feel just the power of that fog that I channeled through my breath. And I can just feel how the arrow is just going to almost become like an instrument of mine, where it's like I feel like I'm thinking about in Guardians of the Galaxy, where he can whistle and move his arrow around. Is almost like a and then like just goes through these cockatrices in a
Bending
very
the bullet like...
abnormal.
Hell yes. I love it. Maddie, you no longer have any cockatrices on you. But Monroe, that's your action, and you have movement and bonus. You want to do? Oh, yeah, you have movement and bonus. You want to do anything?
Oh, I was gonna say, since it was since I was able to hit the creature, I can push them 10 feet away, and I can push them into another creature. On a nat 20, do you think one of the creatures hit the thief?
Damn it. On a nat 20, yes, I was going to have Maddie roll an oppose, like, against a sleight of hand. Maddie, just off to your right-hand side, and you just, like, all of a sudden something appears in front of you. This hand is, like, reaching over, like, attempting to grab something out of everything that you're holding, as one of these dead cockatrices flies over and smacks him right in the face, and the Minotaur thief goes stumbling back for a second, and is broken out of his stealth, and is stunned for just a half second to where you see him, and you're able to, you know exactly where he's at.
Well, now that everyone is accounted for, thanks to the team, I just shout Eternal Vanguard and use a key point to dash and go 120 feet all the way to the finish line.
Unopposed all of the way. None of you have any issues with the petrification. Maddie dashes his way. Doesn't even stop at the crowd. He just immediately is running with everything that he's still in his arms. A couple of gold pieces fall out. A couple of like little decorative like spoons and shit fall out. And just like this, he's leaving this little trail of loot as he sprints the whole way back to the town. And Roxo is standing up there. I think he's on cocaine too. As you make it all the way back to the town unmolested.
Another blast of Eternal Vanguard as loud as we can then to celebrate the win.
You immediately run past the gates of you're not even stopping. Like I said, you're about a mile and a half or so, but I'd say 2 miles outside of town. But you make it back in about 5 minutes flat. Just like your monkish ability to just sprint long distances and ridiculously fast speeds. You're back. You're semi out of breath, but you're still holding on to all of this loot, just hoping and praying that one of the things that you're holding is indeed the golden egg. But the crowd is roaring. Everybody is screaming and having a great time, and you're just being congratulated. Eternal Vanguard is being shouted at the top of everybody's lungs, and Maddie and the rest of the group, you have completed the cock hunt.
Woo! Woo! No one died.
No.
I know. I was gonna say. I'm like,
I was about to start using pyro conversions just until it failed.
I was gonna say because it gets a worse, or it has like a chance to blow up or something like
I
that every time
roll
you use it.
1d10.
Yeah.
And it's the result plus the amount of times I've used it.
Yep.
If it fails, I also take the 4d6 points of damage, and I can't use it until a long rest.
That's what it is.
It actually doesn't blow up though. I just get hurt.
Okay, you just get it just blows up in your
I
face.
get extremely hurt from it though. I take 46 fire damage.
All right. With that, we're a little bit over time. So my question is, do we want to move on to award ceremony, or do we want to finalize all of that at the beginning of next session?
Can we do cure wounds on everybody?
Yeah, if you guys want to patch each other up, by all
or a
means.
short rest or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna have a little bit of time before everything's like. I would say no, you don't have time for a short rest because you're immediately taken to the awards ceremony.
Oh,
But,
okay.
everybody,
I want to know who won.
You want to know who won?
Yeah, I know. We need
The
to. We need to
lumberjack.
hear this out now.
Okay, with that, you all are immediately brought over to an awards ceremony, and the clown is like Roxo is immediately coming over, and he's like kind of stepping up to his position, but is immediately like shoved off the stage by Swole, and he falls onto the ground flat, and he's
Nice.
and he's just laying there. You know, he is removed from the thing. But we're going to move on to the awards ceremony with the cock hunt. Of course, Eternal Vanguard is the winners. You guys have managed to make it through, not breaking any of the rules, not attacking any of your fellow teammates. Those of you, none of you have been petrified. You do notice, like in the time that it takes for everybody to kind of go through, is Swole standing up there, exclaiming the victory of Eternal Vanguard. The halfling fighter, the guy that was going nuts and like fighting all of the cockatrices, he's actually brought about 20 minutes later up the pathway back to town, is escorted by that other Furbolg woman that you were all talking to earlier. So
Unpetrified now and everything.
Unpetrified and everything.
Cool.
With that, everybody is exclaimed Eternal Vanguard is exclaimed as the winners. You guys are all passed on. Like Maddie, as they all kind of like go through everything that you've covered here. You have stolen all of this additional loot from the cockatrice's nest. You do have the golden egg in your persons, and they immediately take it out, and they just kind of like laugh and chuckle, looking at everything that you're still holding. They take the golden egg away from you, and they hand you a purse full of about 1,000 gold pieces.
Hold it up to the team. Yeah.
And all the rest of the goods that you have in your hands, they're all kind of laughing and joking. It's like you actually walked away with about, I'm going to just throw a quick calculator on this. You walked away with about an additional 200 gold worth of loot that you just scooped up away from this cockatrice nest.
On my nat one. Hell
on your
yeah.
As you scooped up everything with you and made everything you possibly could.
I don't know what I need, but I need all of this.
Good job. Good job, guys.
So with that, second please. First. Second. I need just a second to calculate this. So this is actually going to boil down to, it is actually a tie for first place between Drum and Swole. Unfortunately, calculating it based upon the distance of the logs thrown, Swole comes out the winner. Swole in first place.
We want an arm wrestling match. We want a tiebreaker. Tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker.
Tiebreaker. Tiebreaker.
Drum, are you up for a tiebreaker?
Sure, I'm up for a tiebreaker. Let's see.
All right. We're going to do another drinking competition followed by an arm wrestling competition.
Okay.
Huzzah!
Oh
So
no.
with that, we're gonna do the same rules. As all of a sudden everybody goes to the beer garden, and all of a sudden beers start being handed out, and it's those big ass steins. It's like the same one that Swole was drinking earlier is handed to one of you. It's like you've already consumed a buttload of alcohol this morning. You're about to consume 3 more. It's going to be the same thing. DC 10, 12, and 15. If you pass 2 or more, you have advantage on your strength saving throw to beat into to win the arm wrestling competition. If you fail 2 or more, it is going to be on. It's going to be a disadvantage. I'm also going to do the same for Swole. So, you ready?
Yep.
Swole gets a +4 to his Constitution, so I'll roll these on the app. Everybody's chanting, drum, 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 drum. Reroll the first one, go.
Dirty 20.
Swole rolled a 7. Second round, all of a sudden more steins were brought out. He's starting to tips a little bit. Roll it again. You rolled a 13. You got to beat a 12 this time.
10.
10. All right, you are neck and neck. Whoever wins and loses this one is determining who's going to get the advantage. And third, DC 15. Roll it.
Nat 1.
He rolled a 2.
That's gonna be.
I'll give Drum my inspiration for my last.
Hold on.
One.
I think we tied on that then, because that's 6.
6 and 6.
6 and 6.
Maddie, if you want to give him inspiration to try and re-roll it, I'll allow it.
I do. That way you get advantage on the last one. So I'm gonna give him my inspiration.
Okay, roll it again. Roll it again, Drum. Let's see if the whole if you don't roll another one. You just got to beat a 6.
I rolled a 10.
Rolled a 10. He has the victory with the advantage. You have advantage on the strength saving throw. Maddie, what does your inspiration look like to keep Drum from like basically hurling up this stein of booze?
I think that I have a drink in my hand as well because I'm just doing it with them, and I'm gonna believe in you. And I start drinking as he drinks, just drink the whole time, just like
All
a
right.
real deal.
We're gonna roll a strength check. Okay, Swole gets a +4 to this. Drum, you have a advantage on this roll. I'm gonna roll on the app. He rolled a fucking 2. You have to beat a 6.
Drum.
All right. Well, luckily I have advantage.
You have advantage.
Okay. 22.
Fuck yeah.
22. You immediately slam his arm down. It almost like splits this giant table in two. As just it comes rocketing down to BAM! And immediately the beer hall erupts in this roar, just like oh! Blue Ox, Swole is not looking sad or the slightest. He is delighted. He is laughing. He is like he's like giving you a big ass thumbs up. He is smiling ear to ear. Everybody's topping off drinks. They're pouring drinks over your head. You have won the lumberjack competition.
That's awesome.
With that, Swole actually stands up and pulls the axe that is off of his side, the same one he showed to Smalls earlier, and presents it to you. It is a large-size battle axe, but you are strong enough to wield it with one hand, and it is etched with these little intricate metal design works of like these vines and these split trees. It is some kind of like intricate woodsman's axe, and he hands it to you. And he says, it has been so long since I've had a good competition. I am so very happy, my friend. Thank you. And he like picks you up and like hugs you and like kind of like spins you around a little bit. I go, sorry. I just got excited. Children, come over. Your father just got beat by. Come. And all of a sudden, like 20 of these little furbolg children come floating over and just like kind of like looking up at you in awe and like trying to touch on you and just like, wow, amazing. And the other blue furbolg woman, the one that assisted with the cock hunt, comes over after tending to the halfling fighter that was turned to stone. Immediately comes over, wraps her arms around Swole. Swole wraps his arms around her. This appears to be his wife.
Mm-hmm.
So, first, he's as tall as Smalls, right? When he picked me up, like,
yeah, he's.
Do I take fall damage when he puts me down?
No, he puts you down
Like,
gently enough, and
okay.
you're drunk enough right now. You don't take fall damage. You know.
Sweet. Well, Drum very swinging kind of side to side because he is very tipsy. It was fantastic. And does this axe have a name?
You.
Didn't hear that.
Hew. Hew. You can actually search it in the items, and you can add Hew to your inventory.
Awesome.
Swole, having been bested in the arm wrestling competition, gives up his position as the first place winner, or as the second place winner, and passes along the winnings to Smalls. Smalls is gifted with a pair of. Where did it go? Smalls is gifted with a pair of gloves of swimming and climbing. You actually notice that several of the lumberjacks around here, some of the more senior members, wear similar gloves. So Smalls is gifted with a pair of gloves of swimming and climbing. And the entire group, all of Eternal Vanguard, you are presented with a case of the Foul vodka. The vodka that was first served to everybody during all of these competitions, brewed by Foul himself, and you can add those to your inventory. 3 bottles of Foul vodka, which actually count as potions of fire breath. If you choose not to drink them as alcohol. I'll put all this stuff in the loot chat later.
Thank you.
But with that, we are at 9:30, and I'm going to go ahead and end the session right there. We will pick up for final celebrations and finalizing of the repairs to the wagon on next session.
Yay! Congratulations, Drum! Xena goes over and gives him a kiss on the cheek. Congratulations, Maddie! She gives him a kiss on the cheek. Congratulations,
We good?
Morton! She gives him a kiss on the
I
cheek.
can.
And Argus, your medal. But Xena gives you a kiss on the cheek. Yay!
Kind of burns your lips a little bit.
Ah!
It smells of the hells.
Yeah, really.
Quite literally.
Yeah.
That's just a pervading smell that he will constantly have. It won't go away. He's tried.
And Xena kisses Smalls on the cheek.
There we
Good
go.
job!
We're gonna kill a clown next time.
Yes, damn clown.
Wasn't the clown taken away by the town? Is that what you said?
He was shoved off the stage by Swole. But you guys don't know where he kind of went after that.
All right.
Hunting clowns, hunting clowns. No.
Oh, hunting clown. I'm not gonna go out of my way to hunt all of them. Just this one.
Just one.
Just this one.
Just that blue
Just
guy.
this one.
I'm selective at this point.
And Drum wasn't even going to participate in the lumberjack competition at first. What the hell?
His ego
Somber
got the
and
better
angry.
of him.
All right.
He's like, fuck those birds. Fuck them.
Take your fire breath and enjoy it.
Huh?
At least we're getting good reputation.
Yeah.
Right?
I was going to say, you guys just made a whole bunch of friends there.
Lumberjacks, let's go.
Eternal Vanguard. All right. I dig it. You guys got to come up with a banner now. All of the mercenary companies have a specific banner.
Eevees.
Oh, Maddie!
Just take
Just
all
as
of the
long as-
Pokemon symbols and just merge them into
Nine.
like an overlapping diagram into like a really pretty like flower.
Yeah.
But we shouldn't do that because Nintendo will copyright our asses.
Dude, like Pal World.
Because fucking Nintendo's Nintendo.
I mean, you can do that with all the class logos.
You could. We could do that.
Hey, you guys figure it out. It's your banner. It is your insignia.
And we don't have that class anymore.
You just have all of them.
Just have one of each of them. I guess that makes sense. But other than like the sorcerer, warlocks, and wizards, because we don't have any of those.
Mm-hmm.
I want a tattoo of that.
I'm a
As far as we know.
You've seen me blasting Eldritch Blast like everywhere since I've came out of a cube.
Yeah.
Maddie's been blasting Eldritch Blast since we first met him.
Like,
That
there's been
is
no
true.
reserve from magic
This
from
whole time I'm like, oh, he's
the
a monk.
robot.
And you're using it, and I'm like, oh, he's a monk too.
Do you just assume...
I
I love how... So
It's
what
a monk,
about
but-
my enemies catching on fire after hitting me?
Hmm.
Because
You're
you're
a
made of
fire
metal.
You know what? I've seen people do things like that before after they get hit too. It's not too uncommon.
Yeah, I mean, Smalls rages and people get struck by lightning. How's that?
Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on in this
You know
group.
what? They're all gonna panic when I
Since
disappear
Xena
into my
kissed
cube.
Argus, does that mean her lips are permanently red?
I would not say permanently, but it's kind of like you kissed a hot stove. But thank you everybody for kind of like I wanted to try a couple of different things.